Oh, God, did my jump,
Yes,
Bex.
he did it.
I did it.
You've got to do your signature jump. That's
Yes.
just how it goes.
I don't do it every time. I only do it when I'm really excited and happy because we have got such a great show, haven't we?
So many things to talk to you about today. Loads of offers, some great pots, a giveaway.
A giveaway?
A free gift.
A giveaway?
A giveaway.
I'm thinking I'd love to give these hollies away, Bex.
Oh, I got my holly. So I've got these, and I got these out just the other day. Put them on either side of my front door. I'm going to decorate them with lights soon.
But we paid for ours. Somebody's going to win these. Yes, and all you need to do to be in the draw, you've got until next Thursday, is email ygtv@yougarden.com, and the subject, just put holly. I mean, you don't have to write like a bit anything. Just put subject holly.
That's all you need to do.
It. Can we just say as well, the whole idea of this, we'd love one of you to win the holly. Of course we would. But also, could you tell your friends about this? You know, if you got any friends that are sort of into gardening, would love these hollies, just tell them our email, ygtv@yougarden.com. All they need to do is put subject holly and they're in the draw. All the T's and C's are on our website. But that's, I love a prize draw, don't you?
I love it. I love getting something free. I love giving something away as well. So we're very privileged to be in this position, aren't we?
We are very privileged. But if you'd like to be in the draw, do it now while you remember, ygtv@yougarden.com, subject holly. You don't have to write about holly, talk about holly, just put subject holly and you will be in the draw. Ooh. And we are running separate competition, aren't we?
Yeah, there's multiple places you can do this. So this is a separate giveaway just for YGTV viewers, which is fantastic. But we're also doing another 3. So there's one on Facebook, there's one on Instagram, and one on TikTok as well.
Great. And you can enter all of them, can't you?
And you can enter, you can enter all 4 if you want to. Multiply your chances of being... Wouldn't it be cool if you entered in those 4 different places and then you won 2 lots?
Well, it would.
That would be so cool. There's an opportunity to do that.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah, if you're particularly lucky.
You never know.
So anyway, we'd love you to just enter the prize draw and you'll be in with a chance to win these beautiful holly standards. Now, I'll tell you what we have got. And I just wanted to get to these straight away because we've got some really
Sean's
good
very
pot.
excited about this.
I'm really excited. We've got some amazing pot offers. And I mean, I'm going to start with these, the Somervilles. Because you can get 2 of these today. Look at the size of them. They are amazing. Where's the front?
There we go. There's a... There.
So I was thinking about £25 each, and that would be on a special. So I'm just checking you have got... Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, sorry,
there's one on there's one on both
that's
sides
what confused me. Yeah, you've actually got this lovely sort of like emblem on either side. But I was thinking, what, £25 each?
Yeah.
Because they're really big, and I just think they're going to make a real statement, and you can grow some really wonderful plants and, you know, olives, things like that. Oh, yes! We bought the spiral twisted olives a few weeks ago.
The big tall ones.
And I still haven't potted mine up.
I still haven't potted mine up either.
They'd be excellent. But
they would be good, because they're nice and deep, okay? So they're really good for sort of tall, for standards, for larger shrubs, larger bushes.
And anything with deep roots.
They actually, so they don't have the holes in yet. They're going to be easy to put them in, and you can see there's markings of where you can make those drainage holes, but actually you could use these as indoor
That's what I was thinking.
as well.
And I was even thinking if you've maybe got a potted Christmas tree or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could easily make this look a bit more festive. But they're really big, they are beautiful, and so they would be ideal even for big indoor houseplants as well.
Definitely.
So I was thinking about £25 each would be amazing, but no, the price is nowhere near that. It's a buy one, get one free, £22.99. It works out, what, £11.50 each?
That's absolutely crazy for the size, the beauty that you're getting here. Yeah, that is such a good price. So that's why Sean obviously wanted to bring this in as early as possible.
I love them. I think they're really classy. I think they go with any kind of garden, modern as well as country cottage.
Lovely stone look to them.
Yeah, and I know, you know, sometimes we talk about drainage holes, how important they are, but you have got, as Bex was saying, you've got the places to actually put those in.
Yeah.
But it is nice to think these could be for inside as well.
And you know what? It's really easy to add drainage holes into these plastic pots. Obviously, they're UV stabilised, they're frost resistant, you've got all of those benefits with this, but they really, really are super. It's so much easier drilling holes into these kinds of pots than it is into terracotta or stone or, you know, ceramic. You break them so easily. This is so simple to do.
And so you've actually got the drill holes already kind of prepared for you. So you've got those already done. All you need to do is use get your drill and, in a few seconds you've got drainage. But say you could use them inside as well. Stu just said, Stu's, lots of you know Stu, he's in charge of the technical, and he just speaks to us in our ears. And sometimes he says sensible things.
He does.
Sometimes he doesn't. And he said that I will drill all those holes for you. No, I won't.
If you let us know with your order, we'll get Sean a drill. And he can
I've got a drill.
He can be out there like...
I've got a very good drill.
Oh, yeah, get one of those, get a manual one where you've got to turn it.
My dad used to have one of them, bless it. So anyway, we just thought they were a great start to the show.
Brilliant.
By the way, if you're ordering them, you do need to use the offer code YGTV4924. That's the offer code for this week. And if you use that code, you will get a wonderful free gift. We both love these.
Love them.
These are our 45 litre heavy-duty bags. I think these are just as good as our heavy-duty pots. And actually, you could argue that they're... Well, no, not argue. The fact is they're actually bigger. They're 45 litres.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. They are bigger. I've grown potatoes in here previously and they grew perfectly in here. They are grow bags, so you can use them as that. But they're wonderful for a variety of different things. Those handles are double stitched, the sides are double stitched. So you can use them just as a general shopping bag.
I've got a couple in my car boot, and I do when I've got really heavy things like boxes of cat food, cat litter, my mum's weekly wine order.
Morning, Carol.
I'm only joking, but bottles and boxes and everything and tins, they are brilliant. I've also used them, when I have, say, been growing things. I mean, you've done potatoes. I've had fruit trees growing in these for a number of years.
Yeah, well, I've got a bunch of these, and when I move house. It's not happening yet. You'll get bored of me talking about it. But when I move house and I need to move some plants, because I will be taking some of those plants with me, that's going to be the temporary home for those plants when I move them. And
they're just great for general tidying up, weeding. Such a good idea, and that's free with every order today. We normally sell those about $4.99, so that's free with every order. Also, just quickly, I know a lot of you regulars know this.
There's the tidying up. Love it.
Hey!
It's not you. Who's that? Oh, is that Sam?
I was going to say that didn't look like my arm. But yeah, that's Stu's good lady there. But they're brilliant, they really are. And don't forget, you'll probably know this already, but you do get free postage when you spend over £40. If you don't spend over £40, it's $6.99 per order. Now you like the urn as well, don't you?
I love an urn. I love an urn.
These
I think
gorgeous.
there's something very traditional and beautiful about having an urn. It's a nice shorter one as well, which works brilliantly, I think, if you're creating a sort of tiered display with your container gardening. It's got a kind of aged look to it as well, with the colours that you've got going on there. It's really easy to put together. It comes in 2 parts. Shaun did it this morning. You kind of screw the bottom into the top there. It was very, very quick and easy to do.
I think the easiest way of doing it is just turn it upside down, and then literally that's the base, and I just screwed it in.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's that. I like that it's that screw base on there, because it actually makes it nice and secure. There's others that just push together, and sometimes they can get a bit wobbly, can't they?
Now, as a child, Blue Peter did this this special program on gardening, and they showed you how to create an urn from an old tyre.
Right. I bet that didn't look very good.
It looked hideous. So basically, you opened up a tyre and created what looked like an urn, and it looked hideous, it did.
Right.
But, in those days, we didn't have any money, and they certainly did for, a few years. But the work that's gone into these is considerable, isn't it? I mean, they're so detailed. That looks like it belongs at a stately home, doesn't it?
It does. This is what I like about it, because they're quite traditional, very gorgeous in their displays. And they work for so many things. This is exactly, when we've got a cordyline, and I talk about planting this into an urn, this is exactly the kind of look that I'm talking about. That, either side of a door, with the cordyline in, and then underplanting it with some bedding or whatever. I just think that is such a beautiful look.
Yeah, and actually, I'm just thinking. We've got things like the Lakota. We've got a beautiful hydrangea coming out, but something fairly low growing.
Yes.
And that looks. This is coming up.
Yeah,
that's
beautiful.
Yeah,
love it.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So I'm shopping now.
I know you are. We're always shopping.
2 of those.
We're always shopping. Yeah. Love it.
Or something like, if you wanted to do like a winter urn, we've got the Callicarpa coming out.
Callicarpa's back, everybody.
Yeah.
Do you remember us going on about the Callicarpa last year?
It's
back.
Do you know what? That looks stunning. I would underplant that with some white hellebores, maybe.
Yeah, because obviously it looks like this at this time of year, but that would look really
But
pretty.
anyway, the urns are amazing, and the club discount price is $22.49. And don't forget, for anybody that is in the club, you will get 10% off everything. All of the pots. We've got bulbs, as we mentioned, so it's buy 3, only pay for 2. We've got loads of wonderful evergreens. We've got some Sempervivums coming up as well. But remember, you'll get a 10% discount on everything as long as you are a club member. If you're not a club member, you can become one today. It's only £5 for the year on auto renew. We have got other pots, so do check out the show. We've got loads of other pots as well. I'm going to keep that there actually, so I can keep my eye on it.
Let's go and have a look at the favourites table, shall we? We've selected what we think is going to be your favourites. I've got a couple of favourites on here that I'm very, very excited about. But let's see what is going to be the favourite by Sunday. Obviously, we change this over depending on which ones you spend your money on. So which ones are you going to spend your money on today?
We have got a very good feeling about these because in terms of price, they are incredible. And they've got some, I think, some quite unusual things here as well.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
So they're a little bit different, particularly the Sempervivums, the Appletini apple, which I know you grew last year.
I did.
I was so jealous.
I love it.
Bex brought in this cutest apple tree.
It's so cute.
So we're going to talk about that. But we have got some winter clematis, and I really like this. I've got a couple of these growing in the pub. I think I've got the Wisely Cream, actually. I'm sure it's that one. But they're evergreen.
Yeah, evergreen clematis, which is brilliant, isn't it? And you're going to get all 3 varieties included in there. So the Wisely Cream, which has got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. Those are the lovely kind of delicate, creamy coloured ones. Dark evergreen leaves. It gets to about 4 metres. It can, once it gets going. It's a really good climber and it's beautiful. You get the early sensation, which is the other white one that you've got there with that green and yellow centre. That's going to flower sort of March to May time. Actually, the Wisely Cream, I should have said about that. That's about December to February.
Yeah, it's a bit early,
then
isn't
you've
it?
got March to May with the other one. And then the final one, which is the freckles. Oh, my word, look at that colour. That's about November to May. So that's the really longer flowering one, which is beautiful.
But honestly, it's so lovely to get a winter flying clematis that fills in those months, and the fact that they are generally evergreen as well. Freckles is a beautiful one there.
Yeah, and I think they work quite nicely together, don't they? Because you've got the creamy and the white colours of the others, and then the freckles in there as well. So if you wanted to plant them together, I think they would blend perfectly.
But I love the fact that they are evergreen, because a lot of clematis do look pretty.
Yeah, they look rubbish in winter, don't they?
Just tweet, yeah. And you can't really, lots of the varieties don't really prune till February time, so you end up with just lots of like straggly twigs everywhere. But these are evergreen, and so you've got the flowers in early spring into late spring, and a stunning collection. It's $14.97. Really pretty. All of those, aren't they? I
love it. Yeah, I really like the fact that we've got winter flowering as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we talk about a lot here in the shed about colour 365 days of the year, how sometimes in the winter months it can be a bit dark, it can be a bit dreary, but we can have something in our gardens that is beautiful, that makes us want to actually step outside our back door.
And a lot of these are going to be flowering when all your spring bulbs are coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're going to look amazing.
And they're going to provide you with an early nectar source as well for any pollinators that are out there, which is an important thing to do, isn't it?
They're only £5 each as well. And obviously, this time of year, when they arrive, they're going to arrive in 9 centimetre pots. They should have some foliage on. Most of them should have some foliage on now. But so as they get more established,
there's one of the varieties we should say, which is the early sensation. So that one's that got the least growth on it, and pretty much most of them look like that. But it is there. Don't worry. It is there. It is raring to grow in your garden. Great root system on these things as well. So they're really ready to get in your gardens. Look, if I show you the roots on
it's
that
really
one.
Healthy.
So you can see, look, as I hold it, there's no compost falling away. It's got great root system going on there. So it just wants to get in your garden and get growing.
But the other two, the evergreen freckles and the Wisely Cream, have got a lot more growth on them. But
don't want you to be disappointed.
No. But I've got a couple of those in the pub garden. They look amazing. Right, the cutest apple tree now.
Love this.
I was so honestly, I remember seeing yours last year, Bex, and I mean, it was just adorable, wasn't it?
It's such a cute tree, first of all. So it doesn't get massive. I mean, it will obviously in time, but I planted mine, and it must be nearly 2 years ago now, actually. How big was it when I got it? I can't remember, but it's not massive now. But it will get to somewhere between 1.5 metres and 2 metres, but it'll take several years to get there. But I got a couple of apples this
year.
Yeah,
I remember.
And they are beautiful. They're miniature apples.
Yeah.
They're sort of golf balls. Well, maybe a little bit bigger than golf ball size, but they're like perfect lunchbox size apples. They're delicious. They're juicy. They're sweet. They've got a pretty red skin to them. And that blossom that you just saw, it's probably some of the most sort of breathtaking colours of blossom that
I'd say they're kind of like nectarine size-ish, would you say?
Yeah, they're not massive at all. They're perfect bite-sized apples.
Can I just say, at that price, I would expect you to get a bare root for that. Wouldn't you?
$9.99, yeah, definitely.
But these are already established and potted in a 13 centimetre pot. So the value, and it is, I mean, I just remember Bex bringing hers in, and it was the most adorable
Yeah, I brought
tree.
it in when it had the blossom on it, didn't I? And
it's so
really
cute.
pretty.
And then when we saw the apples, I was like, say, slightly sort of like smaller apples with that lovely red skin, and they tasted delicious, didn't they?
They did taste really nice, honestly. I mean, I got 3 or 4 this year, and they were so delicious.
Yeah.
That's the sort of size compared to a regular apple. But it's just a really nice kind of lovely novelty tree for you to grow. I'm growing mine. That's a cherry, by the way. And that's an Appletini.
Yeah. So they are just slightly on the smaller side when it comes to an apple.
But they're lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm growing mine in our heavy-duty pots, and it's going to stay in the heavy-duty pot. It doesn't need to live in anything else. So really, decent-sized pot, it can live in there forever.
And I'm right in saying the foliage when it comes out, it's like a copper colour, isn't it?
Coppery colour, yeah, so really nice coppery colour.
The contrast of the copper foliage with the pink blossom is just beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I mean, I just love that. I'm going to get that this year.
Honestly, I think
you're not the only one that's going to have an Appletini, Bex. No, but sometimes you see somebody else's like plants and you go, oh, got to have one of those. Yeah. And then I forgot all about it. But I'm kind of glad because that price today is amazing.
Do get one of those because they are lovely and really easy. Honestly, I mean, anybody could grow this. Yeah. Anybody could.
And I'm just looking at I remember it sort of growing yours looked quite a really nice shape as well.
It was really nice and neat. I brought it in and Adam, our lovely Adam, did a little bit of pruning on it for me, just to sort out the shape of it, but it does sort of naturally grow into a really nice shape.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you go for that one today. It's such a lovely fruit tree and it's such a great price. Elaine said she just messaged saying she bought it for her granddaughter and she's got hers in a heavy duty pot as well.
Well done, Elaine.
Yeah, it's a really good choice, that, Elaine. So I'm going to join the Appletini Club.
Oh, I'm hoping to get loads of fruits on there next year. Obviously, mine's, it'll get established. You'll get some fruits hopefully in the first year, but as it gets going, obviously you'll get more and more.
I'm hoping you should get,
I'm hoping I get lots next year.
Yeah, so you can share them with us, Bex.
Yeah, definitely.
But this one, you may get a few fruits next year.
Yeah.
Because it's not a bare root, it's in a pot, already growing.
It's already really well established, for sure.
But that's a real cutie. So we're firm believers in grow your own. So if you are somebody that hasn't got an apple tree, that is perfect for you, particularly for smaller gardens. Don't forget, we have got prize draw today. It's going to run all week until next Thursday, and all you need to do is email the potting shed at ygtv@yougarden.com and just the subject, just put holly. That's all you need to do. So holly, that's it. And you can win, wait for this, 2 standard holly trees.
Yeah.
What do they come with, Bex?
They come with the pots as well included, and they've got lovely festive. Shall I grab one?
Yeah, go on.
They've got a really nice festive feel to them because
lovely.
they've got this kind of brushed gold and bronze to them as well. Now they will live quite happily, I think, in these pots for first few years, and if you want to keep them in these pots, that's absolutely fine. I have repotted mine into slightly deeper pots now, just because when it gets a bit windy, they have blown over. But I do love that festive feel that you've got with those pots there. You've got the drainage holes, you've got the lip around the edge to be able to easily transport these around. But then that is the holly tree, and I've had mine for 2 years now, and honestly they've got so big. I can tell the stems have got much thicker, the ball up at the top has got so much bigger. I've got constant berries being produced on there. It's a brilliant one, honestly.
And there are other chances to win on our social media, so Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. We've got 4 prizes in total, so you can enter. You don't just have to enter on YGTV, you can also enter on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook as well. And could you tell your friends? I mean, if you've got friends that that are a little bit into gardening or would just love to win those, just tell them to email ygtv@yougarden.com and the subject, just put holly, and then you're in the prize draw, and that closes next Thursday. All the terms and conditions on our website. Right, another cutie for you right now, and it is our mini olive tree. Now this one has been selling really well on our TikTok shop, hasn't it?
It has indeed, yeah. Everybody's loving this one, and do you know what? I love this because it makes it it makes it easy for everybody to be able to have an olive tree in their
Yes.
garden, basically. You know, I've always wanted an olive tree, but I have resisted buying them because they are expensive.
Yeah,
they have been very expensive in the past. When I've looked in garden centres, I cannot afford to buy those big ones. I have now bought one of the big ones from YouGarden because we got a great price on it. But this is a great way of everybody being able to have one. It'll grow into a full-size big olive tree. You know, it can get, you know, metre and a half in height. It's going to take a long time to get there because olive trees do tend to be quite slow growing. But I love doing that. Sometimes I'm impatient and I want to buy the big thing. But other times I love getting the baby and I love taking it on that journey.
Yeah. To me, that's what gardening's all about.
Absolutely. You've got to mix it up, haven't you?
And it is nice, as you get a bit older, you wander around your garden and think, oh, God, I've had that 10 years, I've had that 15 years. Olives are very long-lived as well. You know,
decades you'll have.
Some of mine, I reckon, I think some of mine are probably 15 to 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and I've never lost an olive in the winter. We say they're hardest about -8. I've never lost an olive.
I would give this one, I mean, depending on where you are in the country, obviously, but just because this one is a slightly smaller one, I would think about maybe just giving it an extra bit of winter protection.
Yeah,
if you're getting down to those minus temperatures, I would definitely think about looking after this one.
Keep your eye on the weather forecasts and things.
Yeah.
But they are evergreen. You get the lovely blossom in sort of like March time, the lovely sort of like yellowy, creamy flowers, and you will get olives in the UK. And we will be honest, depending on where you live and depending on what kind of summer we have, sometimes the olives will ripen beautifully and they'll be delicious. Sometimes if you get a bad summer, you'll still get the olives, but they maybe won't ripen in time. But most people have an olive tree actually just for the aesthetics because they look lovely.
It's about having that evergreen foliage, something really simple and easy to look after. Minimal maintenance here, just a little bit of pruning. Sometimes you get an odd stem that just goes wild, and it's really nice to have that sort of lollipop, the ball up at the top there. So just a little bit of pruning occasionally to keep that. But it is drought tolerant once it gets established as well, so it's not one that needs constantly watering. You've got to think it lives in these lovely hot countries. So.
But I did a really sunny spot if you can.
Yeah, definitely, bright sunshine.
But it's a really cute one, that one. Right, so now we both love our next collection.
I'm such a fan of Sempervivums now. I've never grown them, and it's ridiculous that I haven't because they're so easy to grow. But I'm really keen on them because there's so many different varieties in the Sempervivum genus. So there's like 40, 50 of them. You can collect the whole lot. I love this selection that we've got because it's a really gorgeous mix of colour, isn't it?
It is. And
Look at that shot there.
I've got quite a few of these because I've got them in little terracotta pots on my steps. Leading up to the garage, and I do adore them, and they're so easy to grow as well. I mean, they are, if you're thinking, what are they? They're super hardy succulents, basically. And these naturally grow on things like mountaintops, so they're used to, in Europe, so they're used to like extreme temperatures from like blazing hot sunshine to, you know, really freezing temperatures. So they are, I'd say they're really hard to kill.
Really hard to kill, yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that we've got one that's still got a flower on. I mean, they shouldn't really have flowers on. No. They normally flower in summertime, but look at those beautiful flowers. This is the coral red. This one you get, I mean, it's gone more greeny coloured now, but it does turn really bright red,
I was telling Bex, I've got several of these, and in the summer they were like proper bright red.
Yeah, blood red, right?
Yeah,
that's how we describe
amazing.
it. Blood red on that one. We've got the Arctic white, and I
haven't got that. That's what I haven't got.
I quite like this. And this one's turned a little bit green now, but I remember looking at this on the nursery earlier on in the year, and it was really white, properly like frosty coloured white colours on there.
That's lovely, isn't it?
It's so pretty. I love that one. And again, you'll get the pink blooms on this one. And this one we brought you last week, but it's in this collection as well, which is the Golden Nugget. Look how many babies are on there. I mean, look how many. You could separate this out, for example. I mean, there's more than 20, isn't there? There's so many plants you could separate that out into. But this is the beautiful thing about Sempervivums. They're known as hens and chicks, aren't they? Because you've got the central hen and then loads of chicks around the edge. So once you've got them, you've always got them.
They, in terms of propagation, they are so easy to propagate. So literally, if we just took a little chick off.
One of these?
Yeah, got this plenty. And then...
like that.
Even without rooting powder, pop it in some compost, our premium compost, and that is another plant. And I'm not joking. That will grow.
Done.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, I'd probably get the root in a little bit better than I have, but yeah, that's it. Done.
One thing we'll say, I said they're virtually impossible to kill because they grow on like mountaintops in Europe and things. They just don't like ever to be waterlogged.
Yeah.
That's
keep
the
them
one.
nice and dry. And this is why actually keeping these in terracotta pots works really, really nicely, because obviously terracotta leaches moisture out. So this is why I use it. I use terracotta. I love our plastic pots, don't get me wrong, but I use terracotta for my succulents, for my aloe veras, because they love to dry out.
And what I would do when you're potting those up, I'd mix some grit and gravel in, put it in the bottom, and I always surround them with gravel as well, because it looks really good, but it does help with that drainage. But in terms of temperature, even though they're succulents, they are fully winter hardy. In the summer, if we get 40 degrees, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant.
Love them.
And I love they constantly produce, those new rosettes, those little chicks.
There's some babies that came off this one earlier as well.
Yeah, we better pot those up, Bex.
Better pot them up too.
Yeah.
Put them in this
But
pot.
it's a lovely collection, and when you have these in groups together in pots and displays, they do look quite magical. And they do flower, we forget to say that, but in the summertime you do get these magical flowers, normally pink on the little stems, and they're beautiful.
It's a great collection as well, because you're going to get all 3 of those for $9.97. It's basically a buy one get 2 free, isn't it?
It's really good.
Oh, he's moved on.
Oh, sorry, but we love those.
We're a big fan of them.
Yeah. So if you haven't got them, get them. And they're a great one to get the kids involved in as well. Now...
We fell in love with. Do you remember when we brought these earlier on in the year?
Yeah, I do. The
Because
Pieris,
is not something that I'd grown previously, and I really fell in love with the different colours that you get with Pieris. And the fact that these are evergreen is incredible. The foliage that you get on here is amazing. They're fully hardy. You get months and months of colour from these, and that young foliage comes out that sort of dazzling pink, which contrasts so beautifully with the green colour. But then it was the flowers that really blew my mind. They're like sprays of flowers. They're like lily of the valley flowers, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And they normally flower sort of like April, May time. Very scope. Now, we were talking, Bex and I were talking about this. Ideally, they do like a slightly acidic soil.
They do. There was somebody who sent us some pictures, weren't there, from Scotland somewhere, who sent us an amazing picture.
Oh, yes,
a
huge one.
It was massive.
Because they are quite slow growing. I would just say, although they prefer with acid, so I have grown them just with my regular plants in neutral soil, and they have done okay. But technically they should be in a slightly acidic soil. So mixing a bit of ericaceous compost if you got it. But they are lovely. I think Pieris are a bit... I think they're a bit understated and undervalued.
I agree, yeah.
Because, I mean, the leaves are lovely. They grow in a very sort of like nice, delicate fashion. And when they do flower, it is pretty impressive. And I love the fact we've got 3 different varieties. So slightly different foliage.
And they work really nicely. Look, you've got the different shades going on. You've got more of the red, a slightly coral pink, and then a brighter pink going on there with the 3 different varieties. There's a few that got the RHS Award of Garden Merit as well, so proven performers. They can get to anywhere between sort of 2.5 and 4 metres, but we are talking 10 plus years for them to get to that sort of height. So yeah, it's a really nice sort of slow growing, easy one, but that's going to give you sort of from spring into early summer, you'll get those beautiful flowers on there.
But that's a lovely collection, it really is.
I like it, yeah.
And only £5 each. But it is nice, I mean, at this time of year, it is nice to have some plants that are evergreen that still look great. You don't want to be looking at too many twigs, do you?
No. Well, everything looks a bit bare at this time of year, doesn't it? So it's important to mix in some of that evergreen.
Well, you
beauty.
say that, Bex. It doesn't look too bare in my garden because I've covered all those twiggy things in lights.
Have you? Wow, you're
do you know what? Well, battery operated lights are so affordable now. So yeah, not everything, but yeah.
I did it. So I've got some candy cane lights.
Oh,
so I've stuck them in the pots on my table, and my central feature is the.
Give me a clue. Go on. Describe.
It's foliage. It's a bit like the Leucothea, but it's not the Leucothea, and you don't need the ericaceous compost. We sell loads of them. Your video's got Nandina. There you go. The Nandina firepower.
Bex has had a foggy week, she's told me.
I put the butter. So bread and butter. I did a sandwich, and I put the butter in the cupboard where the bread goes, and I put the bread in the fridge where the butter goes, and didn't realise until the next day.
Completely normal.
I've reached. That's the point in life that I've reached now.
Completely normal.
Anyone else know what I'm talking about? Oh, Stu put a jar of coffee back in the fridge. Well done, Stu. Yeah.
See, I do things like leave cupboard doors open and stuff.
Do you?
Yeah, which is really bad. It's like, how do I forget to close the cupboard door?
It's that thing where you're like looking for your car keys and you've put them like in the fridge. I mean, I haven't quite done that yet, but...
But you know what? To forget a name of a plant is totally acceptable. Because I forget names sometimes, but I still look at a plant and know exactly, you know, mostly where it goes.
I could describe it.
Yeah.
I could tell you all about it. It's just the name.
Yeah.
The name.
Yeah, so...
right, sorry,
but anyway,
Stu, let's move on.
Sempervivums we've had, and the Pieris collection there as well, 51126. Now, we would love to talk to you today. So if you've got any questions, if you just want to say hi, don't forget you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. Do enter the prize draw, tell your friends about it. You literally just send it. We had loads of entries already. Send an email and the subject just needs to say holly, and one lucky viewer from YGTV will win the pair of standard hollies with the pots as well. You can also, if you check out our Facebook, TikTok, and of course our Instagram, so Instagram, TikTok and Facebook, you can enter those competitions.
Loads of people entering already.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the emails. Apparently Elaine has sent a picture of her Appletini, so we'll get that out in a little while.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello to everybody in the chat as well. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Elaine. Loads of you. Oh, Angela's in there. Yes, hello to Angela as well. Good morning if you're watching on Facebook as well.
Yes. It's lovely to have your company. Nothing better than a morning of gardening, say on the TV. Say a lot of you will watch us on your main TV. If you are watching on a phone or a tablet, don't forget, if you've got a smart TV with YouTube, you can literally watch us on your big TV.
Better on the big telly, isn't it?
It is.
Much better on
Although
the big
sometimes
telly.
I don't know, Bex, sometimes I put us on the big TV and I think, oh.
Do you know I haven't actually?
Have you not done it?
No, when I'm watching it back, I'll do it on the iPad or my phone, but I might actually do that. I might just put it on the telly and see. Maybe it'll scare me. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Well, no, we look all right. We look all right.
Massive TV. It's about a 38-inch TV. Me on a 38-inch TV.
No, you look good, Bex. It's just when that camera gets close, it's stupid.
Don't do it, Stu.
He's going to do it now.
You won't. Right, apparently it's getting really busy for the bark mulch at the moment.
Yeah.
Just watching the cameras. Apparently it's getting really busy and I'm not surprised.
What's he doing?
He did a close-up shot. I'm not surprised it's getting busy because this is the time of year when we do need to get the mulch out, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, we want to make sure that we're keeping... Well, we're looking after any of the tender plants, but do you know, it's just a really good habit to get into.
Oh, Stu, that is so unfair. Oh!
It's a really good habit to get into, no matter what the plant is that you're planting. Just mulch it. It's a really good way of making sure that they survive.
Yeah, lots of our viewers have just
switched off.
So anyway, do you know I got a bag of this recently, and I've actually been using it just to make my winter displays look a bit more attractive. So I've put hellebores in pots and I've just put a bit around them, and it looks nice as well.
I think it looks so much nicer than just bare compost, doesn't it? So, I mean, we often talk about underplanting with other plants, but yeah, putting it under like that makes it look really neat. If you have to walk along it, obviously you're not going to get muddy boots. It's great for lining pathways, children's play areas. It helps suppress weeds as well, that's the other thing.
And you might have seen this clip before, but these two planters at the pub garden look after were just such a mess because the ornamus really sucked all the living daylight out of all the compost. It was very hard to grow anything around it. I did try, but things struggled. So I've just neatened it all up, making it look really tidy. And obviously, yes, it looks better, but it does stop the weeds.
Yeah.
It really does give everything just a far better finish. And if you have got anything that is a little bit tender, sort of like your half-hardy perennials and things like that, it does give them that extra protection as well. But so many different uses. It is currently half price at $14.99, 100,061. And that is a big 70-litre bag delivered free of charge to your door. And don't forget, with every order today, I love this as a free gift, you are going to get the green grow bag. Now, we call it a grow bag because, yes, you can grow potatoes. Things like the Appletini fruit tree would grow very happily there pretty much for all its life. We have got things like raspberry canes coming up. They would grow in there. But also, it's a brilliant shopping bag. It really is. And if you are, by the way, if you are buying, say, the ornamental bark, just a little tip, because that's got postage included, say if you wanted 2 or 3 bags of it, if you wanted to put them through as separate orders, you'd get a free gift with every separate order. So do bear that in mind. So if it's something with postage included, it's sometimes worth doing it as a separate order because you will get your free gift with every separate order that you place today.
Yeah, it's really good. And then, you know, you can use them for all the different things that you want to. One for a garden, general garden tidy, one for moving the logs inside, one for emptying the bark mulch in to then spread it over the beds. There's so many uses.
Yeah, and I do honestly have a couple of those in my car boot, and if I'm ever doing some shopping, it's not the most attractive shopping bag, but it's the strongest.
Absolutely.
And it's the biggest. I think they're brilliant. Now you are loving our urns, I'm not surprised.
I do love the urns, yeah. I think they've got a really gorgeous design on them as well. You know, they look a bit aged, a little bit sort of shabby chic going on, but definitely got that traditional look, something that I think you said, like, you'd see it in a stately home or something, wouldn't you?
I could imagine that outside a stately home.
Definitely, and I mean, it looks great as a one-off, as a feature, you know, as one in your garden. But do think about the pairing here. I've seen urns used a lot either side of the front doors with a cordyline in them, and it really does pair them beautifully. These would look great outside the front of your house, actually, because you've got that lovely entrance to your.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they?
They would look really nice outside the front of your house.
But you know, even like my mum's got like a country cottage garden, I still think they'd work there.
Yeah, I agree, do definitely.
And it is. We've called it the short urn, and I think, we have got taller urns, but when you've got a shorter urn like this, I just think it can look really, really attractive, particularly if you've got a few things trailing over the side. Yeah, I'm thinking some of Pansy wave.
That would be nice. Like ivy or something coming over the edge.
But really would suit something a bit more compact. I'd definitely put something evergreen in the centre, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the Lucosi, the Nandinas,
look at this.
You know, those sorts of things will look absolutely beautiful.
That looks
in there.
great, doesn't it?
And that gives you a very beautiful display, quite low maintenance, but looking good all year round.
And if you want the Lucosi, burning love.
Burning love.
The burning love.
I mean, it'd be great in a pot because this does actually need ericaceous compost, so it'd be really easy then. Just fill that with ericaceous compost and you're good to go. So
that is called the Lucosi, burning love. You never knew I could go that deep, did you, Bex?
Never did.
Could you ever go?
It's only hang on. Burning love.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Burning love.
Oh, that was good.
Thanks.
That was good. But that is a lovely evergreen. It reminds us a bit of the Nandinas, as Bex was saying there. Totally evergreen, changing colour. You do get the flowers as well, and that is only $11.99. Right, so those are the urns, but I have to say, I think the value, this is my favourite, this is my personal favourite today.
Yeah, I think it's a great price you're getting on these because it's a buy one, get one free, which is just insane, to be perfectly honest. £22.99. Use the code, so put one in your basket, put the code in YGTV4924, the other one's going to go in there absolutely free. And, okay, so we're talking about the 13-inch diameter. Let's talk about the depth of these planters, because these are probably some of the deepest planters that we have ever brought to you. Yes, Stu, you're absolutely right. Skyscraper lilies in there, they would be brilliant because you've got the depth which gives you the stability. And this is why I think we often talk about it when we're talking about the standards that we've got. We've got our standard hollies, we've got our standard lilac, the palabin here. These work brilliantly in deeper pots because obviously they're not affected so much of, you know, when you get a windy day and blowing over.
And I was also thinking, if you wanted to do a bit of grow your own but make it decorative, because I know sometimes it's quite, in the old days people always used to have like a separate area for fruit and veg, but now the modern trend is to mix it all in. But you can actually grow a lot of, fruit trees in here. The raspberry canes coming up.
I love those raspberry canes.
Imagine that. You
I
could
want to grow raspberries.
Yeah, but make them look nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So many uses, but just the size of those, they're going to make a massive statement that you'll have them for years, if not decades. And it's a buy one, get one free at $22.99. I think they're amazing. I love the look of them, and I think they would lend themselves to any garden, modern gardens, country cottage.
Anything that you've got that is deep-rooted, that's
what I was thinking.
It's a deep pot, that would work great.
Certain plants are going to grow very, very nice in there. Now, just to point out, it does not come with drainage holes, but it does come with the drill holes. So it's kind of been pre-prepared for you, but that gives you the advantage that you could have this inside as well. So if you've got maybe, I'm thinking some of our big citrus trees that you might bring inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe you are into your indoor plants and you've got like a monstera or something. Or not bird of paradise.
Yeah, that do.
Yeah,
they can get
big. Or a
big.
banana plant, a musa.
Yeah, anything that's
like
big.
That.
I mean, I've got a weeping fig that's huge. My mum's got a rubber plant that's huge.
Oh, yeah, that rubber plant.
Yeah, but they're lovely. But it gives you the versatility. I like those.
Buying them.
See,
Are they on your list for this week?
They are. I think my spiral lilies would look great in those.
They would,
don't
they?
you? And my house is kind of like stone built, so they'd look great.
Look really good.
Yeah, but a great value. Let us know what you think of those, because they are £11.50 each. For club members, £10.35.
Right, this one is just a little alternative for you. Still got that kind of stone look effect to it. It's got that antique.
Nice.
Oh, it's called antique, which is brilliant. Slightly larger diameter, 14-inch diameter, but a bit shorter here. But this is also a buy one get one free at £17.99. So £9 each, or £8.10 each if you are in the club. 130606 is the item number, and again, this is another one that we could use for indoors. Actually, Stu, what you're saying in my ear, that is absolutely right.
For some of the big house
Some
plants.
of the bigger house plants that we do.
They're really attractive.
We need to start bringing those in.
And actually, if you bought one of our pre-planted Christmas trees recently in the pots, again, that would stand very nice in those. But it is a buy one get one free.
I might get some of these actually for my houseplants.
They're great, aren't they? I'm thinking the same.
I've got some big ones.
Yeah.
This would be really good.
I'm thinking the same.
I mean, we've got others, but these are really nice. Oh yeah, I might get some.
Look at us shopping away. You can almost hear Bex's mind ticking away there, can't you? Ticking away in that fog, Bex.
Ticking away. Oh, that'll look great. My yucca's going in there, my dracaena's going in there. Sorted. Done.
But good morning, everybody, by the way. You are watching, of course, YGTV. We are live until 1 o'clock today with myself, Shaun Ryan, and, of course, Bex Edwards. Stu is doing all the technical things, pressing buttons, being intelligent, and saying silly things in our ear.
Oh, is this updated? I can't work it out. I hate it when it updates, because then it changes all the buttons.
Hey, I had to do the technology on Sunday, Bex.
Changes all... Did you?
Yes.
Oh, my word. Was it all right?
It's all right, wasn't it, Stu?
Somebody's typed holy. Dave.
No.
Will that still be included, Sean, Stu? He's emailed and it says holy, not holly.
Do it again.
Are you going to let it through?
Just do it again, just in case.
Make sure it's 2 L's, everybody.
Yes.
Dave, if you're watching, email again, Holly, Holly.
Yeah.
Check your autocorrect, make sure it doesn't autocorrect it. But yes, there's loads of entries. Dave, are you listening? Re-email. Right, nobody sent me any pictures yet, though, because everybody is entering the competition.
Sure.
Oh, did Elaine send me the Appletini?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, there it is. Okay,
do you need me to get back on the technology, Bex?
Clearly. Oh, apparently we've had a question in the chat. Let me go into YouTube.
Don't forget, by the way, just while Bex is finding that, use the offer code today, YGTV4924. That will give you all of the offers, like the buy one get one frees. It will give you free delivery if you spend over £40, and you will get your free gift with every order, which is the heavy duty grow bag, which we normally sell for £4.99. Right, see you there, Bex.
Circa. So Circa is asking, could I put my is it hydrangea fountain in one of those planters? Somerville or this one?
Now, hang on. Does she...
Hydrangea fountain.
Has she actually put a hydrangea?
She's put hydrea.
No, I think... Because there is a fountain that's a water fountain as well.
Right.
So it might be that. Which you I might be completely wrong.
Circa, just clarify.
Yeah, is it a hydrangea or is it a water feature? If it's a water feature, absolutely yes.
She says, could I put my hydrea fountain in one of those planters?
Yeah.
So it might be the water feature.
I think it's a water feature.
Circa, just clarify for us. In fact, we'll give you the answer either way. Yes, you could put... Right, I would suggest if it's a hydrangea, you'd go into this one, but you would keep it well watered, obviously, because it's in a pot. But we think you mean the water feature.
Yeah, because that is and I would say yes, because most of those water features, as long as you've got enough depth and you've got obviously no holes in there, and these arrive. So yeah, it
is a water fountain.
I would say yes.
Would you go for this one or that one? It depends on the size of the water feature,
I suppose. It does, but I think it depends what look you want. I'd probably go for the bigger one.
Yeah.
Only because I always think with water features, what you don't want is obviously water evaporates, and if you constantly have to top it up. So when you've got a deeper, say, pot for water,
less evaporation, less refilling.
My mum's go for you, but I would say I'm pretty certain that would be fine. And let us know if you go for it and send us some pictures when you set up. Right, we've had some requests for our hanging baskets, which are pre-planted. It is the deal of the week. I did mean to deadhead that slightly, Bex.
Oh, never mind.
With your Pansy Cool Wave, just a little tip. Hang on, what's the price today? $8.99.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
Oh, that is great.
All right, yeah, fantastic.
Oh, my word. Do you know what? I wish I'd not bothered having to plug mine up myself, because these are I think these work out better value. So this is our best-selling pansy. It's called Berries and Cream Pansy Cool Wave. These have all been pre-planted, so they've been grown on the nursery. You don't have to do anything. And these are $9.99 today, or $8.99 for club members. And this particular variety of pansy, if you've never grown it before, it flowers for 10 months of the year. It doesn't stop. It gently cascades and trails. So Bex is playing around there.
Just trying to cheat.
It's the most beautiful colour palette, so it's like purples and whites, so really sophisticated. But it is the longest flowering pansy that we know. The actual flowers are a little bit smaller than a traditional pansy, but bigger than a viola. And it will flower right up to kind of July time. When it gets a bit hot, it will die back. But literally, it will go a bit leggy probably as well. Just chop it back, put it in a cool place for the height of summer, and then it will bounce back in autumn. But that is amazing value, isn't it?
Really
I wonder how many
good.
plants are in here, Bex.
Ooh,
There's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot in there.
And they will come with the hanging bits attached to them
Yes.
as well, by the way, so you can hang them. But of course, you can use them as the pot if you want to.
That is an amazing deal of the week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good one.
I mean, I'm not being funny. $8.99.
That's a good one. Yeah, $8.99.
Yeah, so basket with the hanger, so it does come with the clips as well. I'll be honest. These are not covered in pansies right now. We're sending them out with lots of buds on them, but give them a few weeks and they'll be smothered, won't they?
They will indeed, yeah.
They're really healthy plants.
Definitely.
Sorry, but I'm just thinking, well, I mean, I planted up some baskets with Cool Wave, but I mean, it probably cost me more.
Yeah, probably. Well, it is. When you add in the cost of the basket, the compost and the plants, then yes, it does. And of course, you can get these to come back year after year as well. So just multiply that cost out over the years that you could potentially have these, in your garden.
And I do love the purple, baskets of these
It matches, doesn't it, with the colour of the flowers, like that coordination.
They are going to look amazing, they really are. So if you want to go for them, that price is far better than our website. You need to use the code to get that offer, YGTV4924. Love those. Right, what else we got, Bex?
We got bulbs. You want bulbs? We got bulbs.
Yeah, but not just bulbs.
No, we got some amazing bulbs. We've got we've got the amaryllis, we've got the fritillaria, we've got some amazing tulip varieties.
I think I'd describe our bulb collection today as exotic. These These are not just standards. Many of these are really, really exciting visually. They really are. So, should we start with the amaryllis?
Yeah, let's do it. It is a 3-for-2 mix and match, so you just need to choose which 3 you want, put them all in your basket, enter the code, one of them will be free. Yeah. Great when it comes to this amaryllis that we've got here. This is the Red Lion variety, so that beautiful, bright scarlet red. Now, what do we call it? We call it a large bulb. It really is.
They are.
A large bulb. Look at the size that we're talking about. Apparently it's size 26 or bigger if you're into your bulb sizes.
And that means, particularly with amaryllis, that a larger bulb is more likely to produce more than one stem. Yeah. I mean, we don't 100% guarantee it, but the chances are you will get a couple of stems and each one will have several flowers on it because they're really good quality. Some of them will be producing the initial bud right now. Can you see any coming back?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see that end.
You still want to open that, don't you?
I really do. No, I can't see anything coming just yet. But they're big. There's nothing squishy about them at all. They're incredibly healthy. And these are so easy to grow as well, aren't they? Plant the bulb. Don't do it too deep. This one actually wants to be planted quite shallow. Water around the edge. And you do start seeing shoots come up pretty quickly, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, we always say, by the way, it's an indoor bulb. If you've never grown it before. It's not for outdoors. It's indoor. But normally when you plant an amaryllis bulb, it flowers about 8 weeks later from planting. So if you planted it, in the next couple of weeks, we're probably talking, I would say, the end of January, early February, and that's a lovely time for this to flower.
Yeah, lovely,
really
absolutely. And then obviously you can get multiple flowers. You can get it to come back next year. As the bulb gets stronger, you get even more flowers from them. You're left with the foliage over the summertime. You can take it outside during the summer.
Yes, you can.
Just make sure you bring it back in again during the winter time. But Super simple, absolutely stunning, and a really gorgeous display.
And what I love, and we used to always grow these as children, the height of them. I mean, when
they're quite sturdy, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they never need staking, but they do get to, we say 60 centimetres, but I've had amaryllis even taller than that. And
that's amazing.
The flowers are really big. Little tip, when they do go into flower, if you want the flowers to last a bit longer, move it to a cool room, then you can last several weeks. You can buy amaryllis as cut flowers, but I mean, per stem, you're talking sometimes £15, £20. But they are very, very beautiful bulbs. They grow them inside on a nice bright windowsill. Now, one little tip as well, just rotate them because they do grow towards the sun. So if you want a nice straight amaryllis, then grow them on a windowsill and rotate them around. But that is an amazing price. I mean, bear in mind, say if you just wanted 3 of those bulbs, you'd get 3 for £20. It works out £6.66 each. And they're super sized, they really are. So I like that one a lot. Having said that, this is rather beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. This is known as the peony tulip. This is the double pink. And let me just look at it. You can see why it's known as the peony tulip, because it's double, it's ruffled, it's petalicious, and it does resemble a peony. It is a beautiful shade of pink as well. Very feminine. I mean, that's a bit sexist, but I'm saying it anyway. But a very feminine look to it. It's nice and tall as well, so it can get up to about 50 centimetres. Top recommendation would be to plant this particular tulip in a more sheltered location, because obviously, because they're double ruffled petals, they can be just a little bit more susceptible to, you know, wind damage. So just think about that when you're planting it, but you definitely want those in your garden. They are stunning.
And it is still a great time to plant tulips. Don't think, oh, it's it's December, it's too late.
It's
Not
really
at all.
good. I've still got some bulbs to plant.
And actually, tulips, out of all the bulbs we bring you, they're generally better planted later on. And people always say don't really plant tulips before November, so now into early December, absolutely fine. But they are really, really beautiful, aren't they?
Lovely, honestly. And so easy. I mean, planting bulbs, particularly tulip bulbs, I just find is such an easy job, but gives so many rewards. And of course, if you allow the foliage to die back down on its own, you can use them as cut flowers. You can take the stems and bring the flowers indoors, but then just let the foliage die back down and refeed the bulb, and they'll come back.
Do you know, I'm thinking, if you're buying the urns today, or the Somerville planters, just fill them with tulips like that, and they'd look amazing, wouldn't they?
Really nice. Very good quality. Again, there's a few that are sprouting, but that's not a problem, don't worry about it. I'm just giving them all a squeeze. There's nothing squishy, there's nothing bad quality in there at all. We are talking professional quality bulbs.
I promise I feel a lot squishier than those tulips.
Yeah, me too.
They're firm, they're hard. They are. But if you want to go for them, so they're part of our 3 for 2 mix and match, but something really beautiful. See, I've got tulip. I bought quite a few tulips this year from...
you got tulip envy, didn't you, from my garden earlier the year?
Bex did like pots and pots of tulips, and it really worked. You did all the same varieties in their own pots, but honestly, so this year I've planted a lot, but I haven't got those. I've got the...
I don't think I've got the double pinks
I've got the parrots, I've got the ice creams.
I did lots.
But,
I've got Queen of the Night.
Oh, that was a nice one.
I love those.
But that is one of the best we've done. Stunning. Now, I have planted, this is a collection that I think I've planted about 400 or 500 of these, but I have done the pub garden. I did all the pub garden containers with these.
Such a good combination, the red and the yellow.
I'm hoping they go...
Oh my word. And it's the shape as well, isn't it? Because you've got the colour contrast and you've got the shape contrast going on there. And that's why this collection works so very well together. Those hot, fiery colours that are coming through. And the hot colours, you know, the yellows, the reds, the oranges, they instantly, when it hits our brain, it makes us think of heat, it makes us think of warmth. So when these are coming out in springtime, just as the days are getting longer, it really makes us think of those warm summer days that are coming. And that's what it tells us. This is what whenever we see tulips, it definitely tells us, you know, summer's on the way. But it's the fact that it makes us think of heat. That's what I love about those colours.
And these are really flying tulips as well, and they're a lot more compact. So these two work so well together. They really are made to be planted, say, together. And you should get both the narcissi, the tete-a-tete, and the tulips, probably flying at a similar time as well, with the tulips being early flying. But they are compact, they're a lot shorter. I just think they're going to make the most magical displays, and I just can't wait to share, say, what the pub looks like in kind of March time, March, early April, when these will be in full bloom. But you get 35 of each, amazing value at $12.99. So that's, you know, better on there's 70 bulbs in that pack. And believe me, when you open them up, the quality on those is phenomenal. So I think I've planted 6 packets of those this year, so that's 400 bulbs. But I can't wait. I mean, let's get Christmas out of the way, and then we'll start looking forward to spring.
Yeah, then we'll start.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's going to be so good.
So you want to buy those now, don't you?
I sort of do now, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got any room to plant anymore.
Nonsense.
But I sort of do.
Right.
Get myself some pots and plant them in there.
We're going to go really exotic now. Did you grow this last year or not? You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't do the fritillaria,
no. No, we talked about it, didn't we?
Oh, no, I did. I did plant the fritillaria, but I stupidly put it into the ground. The
clay soil.
And bear in mind, I've got clay soil in my garden.
So was it
bye-bye?
And
so it was bye-bye, it went away.
Yeah.
So look, you can plant these in the ground. Don't worry about that. But if they want lovely sort of free draining soil, don't plant them. I just thought I'll give it a go. It didn't work.
We live and learn, don't we?
We live and learn.
Yeah, so they don't like wet and cold.
They don't like the claggy, you know, horrible clay soil. If you've got clay soil, still grow these. Just, you know, add some extra stuff into the soil or put them in a pot. So
let's imagine it did grow, Bex.
Yes.
So let's pretend it did. So Bex, when it was in full height, I mean, we're talking what, close to a metre?
Close to a metre, maybe even a little bit taller than that. I mean, it's called the fritillaria, the crown imperial, because it looks like a crown, you know, tufts on the top there. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so proven performer. It's just beautiful, and if you leave it in the ground, it can naturalise and spread and give you even more in the future.
Do you know what I meant to grow it last year? And I think I am going to this year, but I'm going to put it in my tropical area.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm thinking, imagine it in pots near palm trees. Maybe you've got things like the Phoenix canariensis that we had recently.
I'm sure a few people got this last year.
Did
you get some good results? Did anyone get any decent results this year?
I tell you what, Bex, we also sold it with the Caribbean lily. Do you remember?
I do remember, yeah.
So if you've got any pictures of this with the Caribbean lily last year, we would love to see them, because Bex and I have to say we haven't actually had this in our gardens in flower. We would love to see yours, but I'm very tempted to that, because I can imagine they must look so striking. You know, imagine these big tall stems with those beautiful orange flowers on, and then that crown at the top. Very impressive.
I think so, yeah, definitely. Unusual, bit of a talking point. Does look a little bit exotic. Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'd love to see pictures of your fritillaria, because we haven't grown that, but might treat myself to that today. And then we've got a beautiful tulip mix known as Rembrandts, and I can see why it's been called Rembrandt, because they almost look like they've been painted. Those lovely brush strokes.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Again, those hot, fiery colours. And remember, these kinds of colours are the focal point. These draw your eye, as opposed to the cooler colours, you know, the blues and the purples and things. When it comes to your planting schemes, you know, if you've got a long garden, plant bright, hot colours towards the end, because it brings the end forward. But it creates that focal point in your garden. The Rembrandts are definitely you know, one of the top varieties, one of the talking point varieties, and they're one of the taller ones. They've also got that classic tulip shape on them as well.
I just think they're beautiful. I haven't got some great bulbs today.
Lovely bulbs.
So, you know, I know you might be thinking, is it worth the effort now? But it truly is. December is a great time to plant tulips. We always say, really, don't plant tulips before November. It's quite mild at the moment outside. Plant them now, and then you will reap the rewards when it comes to April time. And it is magical. I know one of my friends, Sue, in my village, she planted hundreds of tulips last year. And again, I walked past her front garden, and it was magical. Really was. And that is a stunning variety. So, lovely bulbs. It is 3 for 2, so mix and match. You can go for 3 of the same. You can go for 3 different ones. But don't forget, use code YGTV4924, and that will unlock all the promotions. Now, there is a couple of other ones that we have got in this mix and match. And we've got the King Alfred, haven't we?
I love this. Classic daffodil. Absolutely just buttery yellow, trumpet shaped, nice and tall. 20 of those bulbs. Love that narcissus. That's a gorgeous one. And we've also got, what's the other one we've got? I've completely forgotten. Oh, it's another tulip, isn't it? It's the Estella, the Rheinveld one. Oh, it's a beauty, though. I love this.
Yeah.
Whoa. Look at those.
That reminds me, so I've
a bit like the parrot one.
I was going to say, I've got the parrot ones, and it's, I would say, of a similar nature to the parrots.
Definitely. It's a gorgeous one. And that one is,
That's
I think that's a tall
amazing.
one as well, isn't it? Yeah, that one can get to about 50, 60 centimetres in height. Yeah, it's beautiful. Love that one.
And that is 600-206. And then the other 5, I'll just remind you, because I know there's lots of nice choice today. So these are the tulip double pinks. Known as we were saying as the peony tulip, because they're very, very similar to a peony in terms of structure, and that is, I think you'll agree, one of the prettiest. If you love your pinks, that is one of the prettiest pink tulips you will ever find. 600-040, part of the mix and match range. Now, if you want something for indoors, I cannot recommend highly enough an amaryllis, and this is the red line. So plant it indoors, it will flower. It normally flowers about 8 weeks after planting. You get these big tall stems with numerous flowers on them. And so if you planted it in the next couple of weeks, it's probably going to flower end of January into February time, and it really just, in those really bleak months, to have this indoors would be absolutely magical. And they are large bulbs, which means you are very likely to get more than one flower stem. You might well get a double on that one, 630-121. Then we've got, I've gone mad with these. So I think it's 6 bags that I planted. So 420 bulbs. But you know what, it's a delightful combination because these are all compact, they're a lot shorter. So these are like miniature daffodils, miniature tulips. Work really well together because they are early flowering, so some of the first tulips to actually flower in your garden. And those two work really well together. That's what you're getting 35 of each, 600-243. And then if you want a big exotic statement, then the Crown Imperial Fritillaria orange is one to go for. These are big bulbs as we get 2 large bulbs. They will produce these huge, tall stems with a crown on the top, so the foliage at the top looks like a crown, and then you've got dozens of these delightful orange bell-shaped flowers just cascading down. Really quite magical, and so we'd love you to send in pictures of yours from last year, 630-040. And then some real favourites for you, including the mini olives. So if you always wanted an olive tree, but you don't want to spend hundreds of pounds, and olives are slow growing, so mature ones can be quite expensive. This is a great way of introducing an olive into your garden. Now these are from Sicily, so we generally import these from Sicily. They are fully evergreen, and we do say hardy down to about -8, but with this being quite a young olive, just give it a little bit more protection during this first winter or so. 680-111, and it will produce olives. It gets blossom in the like little creamy blossoms, loads of them in March, April time, followed by the olives as well. Now I really cannot recommend highly enough our Sempervivums, our chick charm collection. These are just adorable. So they're a really hardy succulent. So don't think, oh God, they're succulent, so they won't survive the winter. These grow on mountaintops in Europe, so they are used to extreme temperature changes and weather conditions. So a really cold winter, they'll be fine. A really hot summer, they will adore it. They do produce little babies all the time. So the mother, they're known as chick charm, so you're always getting lots of new baby chicks being produced, little mini rosettes that you can easily just nip off, repot, and you've got 3 plants basically. And they do flower in the summertime. You get these lovely, generally pinky flowers on the short stems. 3 lovely varieties. You're looking there at the Arctic White, which has a look, I always think of like, almost like cobwebs over it. The Gold Nugget, which is the sort of like yellow orange one, and the Coral Red, which is one that I've got, does go that colour in summertime, like the most magnificent red. So they're wonderful. And what I do with those, I'd put them in, they're great for kind of rockery areas, gravelled areas, but they work really well in pots. Again, put lots of gravel around them, give them good drainage, and they'll be very happy for many, many years and keep producing those little babies. 561-314. Now, if you love your clematis, we have got some winter flowering clematis for you. Works out less than £5 a plant. You've got Wisley Cream, Early Sensation, and you've got the Evergreen Freckles that we're looking at right now. So they are evergreen. They start to flower March time through to May, depending on the variety. You've still got all of the foliage during the winter time as well. But it is so nice to have winter flowering clematis. It really is. And you know, lots of these will be flowering just as all your bulbs are in full bloom as well. 550372. And also on our favourites table, we've got the most cutest mini apple tree known as Appletini. So this one, it's a pretty compact apple tree, but it produces slightly smaller apples that taste delicious. That's a cherry, but this gives you an idea of the size of the apple. So it is a bit more smaller than a traditional apple, but so sweet and delicious with these beautiful red skins. And when you get the blossom also in springtime, really adorable. Beautiful colour there, but each one of those has got the potential to produce a delicious, sweet mini apple for you as well. And it isn't a bare root, it's actually in a pot, a 13cm pot, so it's already on its way to being a mature apple tree. And you may well get a few apples next year, but obviously it's going to be year 2, year 3 when you're going to really, really benefit. But if you are buying anything today, chances are you might need some compost to repot it, to plant it up, and we have got our best-selling product here at YouGarden, our premium professional compost. Bex is straight in there. It does draw you to it, doesn't it? Because it smells and feels so good. It's
such good compost, and I just know how good it is for our plants, honestly. I mean, I always smell it. You know, you regulars, you know how much I love it. I do, honestly. And smelling soil, smelling compost actually releases happy hormones into our brain. So it's genuinely a scientific thing.
Do you know what? Yeah, I know. I've read up on that a bit, and I always think that, you know, when I'm in my greenhouse, potting up and things.
Are you in your happy place?
Yeah.
With your glass of wine?
Well, do you know what?
I'm not judging. I think it's brilliant.
In summer, you know when it's like lights on 9 or 10 o'clock at night?
Lovely.
It's
Go
great.
Out there, glass of wine, smelling all the compost.
Honestly, to me that's heaven. You know, sat in my greenhouse, 7, 8 o'clock at night, sun's still shining, little glass of wine, compost. What more do you need?
Absolutely. It is filled with amazing stuff, and I just know how good it is for the plants that I grow in my garden. Obviously, it's our compost that we use here at the nursery. So whenever we grow anything, whenever we pot it on, this is the compost it grows into. It's packed with amazing ingredients that are so good for your plants. First of all, it's got peat in it. Now, we won't get into the whole peat, no peat thing. If you want no peat, we've got that. This has peat. We know it does amazing things. Minimal amounts, though, for those maximum results.
Now, you've also got 50% composted wood fibre, and that does give it this incredible texture. And what that means, in simple terms, everything from seeds through to trees and everything in between will thrive in this compost. And the texture is so good and it's so fibrous that, you know, roots can find their way through and they can access the water, the oxygen, the nutrients so easily and readily. And you know, when you are growing things like seeds and plug plants, and even when you're repotting things like perennials, it just gets them off to the best start possible. But it does have a few extra things to help them even more.
Yeah, the little green balls that you can see as I move through that compost, that is a slow-release fertiliser, an expensive ingredient, but one that goes into this compost because it's important that plants get access to feed as and when they need it, not when you remember to do it. And that's important no matter what you're planting in here, whether it's seeds or whether it's trees or anything in between.
Now, you've also got a pH buffer, and what that does, it basically means that this is the perfect pH for nearly every plant out there. The only exceptions today, we've got a few acid-loving plants. We've got some blueberries coming up. We've got the Lacothe, burning love blueberries, Pieris, you could argue, like a slightly acidic environment, but generally speaking, for all plants, it's the perfect pH.
Perfect. It's just the perfect compost, honestly.
Perfect everything.
And I know that people who are watching right now who are new to this and have never tried it, you're all sitting there going, "It's just compost. What are you talking about?" Honestly, please go and have a look at our reviews that we've got on the website for this, because those should tell you. We never go and check them. We never go and look before we show you any of them, but we just know how good this is. Everybody reviews it so brilliantly. And we've been selling it for probably nearly 20 years now. And so many people say they will never use anything else because it is so good.
And this is the pub gardening our village that I look after. And I redid everything in our compost and took a lot of the old compost out, put all new compost in, and things are thriving. They really, really are. And it just gives every plant the best possible start in life. And it is worth that little bit more. And although we say it's a little bit more, actually, when you work out the value, for club members, and most of our club members, it's $22.48. That's for 100 litres. Then you're getting your free gift. And these are brilliant, even if you've already got some of our grow bags. Get some extra ones. You're going to get one free with every order. Great for shopping, great for recycling, great for growing fruit trees, potatoes, raspberries, you name it. Brilliant for growing things in. And that is worth £5. And we don't charge delivery for our compost either.
Yeah, and that's worth quite a lot, isn't it?
It is.
That's worth a decent amount. So it does bring the value down, but it's not about getting the cheapest compost, it's about getting the best compost, and that's what this is.
Yeah. Now, don't forget, if you want to win potentially some standard hollies, or me. But if you want to win the hollies, then we are running a prize draw. And all you need to do is email ygtv@yougarden.com. Please tell your friends and family about this. It'll say subject, just put holly, HOLLY, and then you've been the prize draw. And that prize draw is open till next Thursday. All the T's and C's on our website. We've also got another prize draw running on TikTok, Facebook and Instagram, haven't we?
Yeah, so 4 pairs in total. You can enter all of them if you want to. So all you have to do is just go onto all of those different platforms, put your entry in, and you could be in for a chance of winning. Obviously, multiply your chances.
Going to say, you don't think, oh, I've entered on YGTV, so I can't do Instagram or TikTok.
Worry.
No,
join all of them.
Then you're increasing your chances by 4.
I love my holly trees. They're my favourite thing, honestly. At this time of year, they look brilliant coming out, either side of the front door. They look beautiful.
Now, I'll tell you what, you know your free gift today?
Yes.
I think the raspberry canes would be perfect in here.
I agree, yeah, definitely. So this is a pack of, is it a pack of 10?
5, isn't it?
But it's a pack of 5, apologies. All right, so it's a pack of 5 of the raspberry canes, but these are the short variety. So raspberries, they can grow to, 2.5 metres? You know, a standard, traditional variety. But actually, these are a shorter one, which for modern gardens, for modern gardeners, in fact, not even just for modern gardens, just to make your life a little bit easier, these are brilliant, only reaching about 1.5 metres. And
also, I've just had this flashback to when I was at school. And it was a geography lesson and school. And I do remember it was all about farming and crop rotation. Right, did you learn that in geography?
Arable farming and this. And I remember.
And I remember it was I really enjoyed the lesson. And it was like you had a certain amount of budget and you could gamble on which crops to grow and things.
Right.
It was really good. But I do remember raspberries was one of the crops you could grow, but you had to wait quite a few years to get your crops back, and was it worth that gamble?
Okay.
The great thing about these canes, there is a point to this story. Bex is looking at me like, where's he going with this one? But these actually fruit. They should fruit in the first year because they fruit on the new growth. Yes. So, rather than having to wait 2 or 3 years, you could get raspberries next autumn. Yeah, so we've brought... I love that idea.
There's primocane varieties and there's floricane varieties. So floricane will fruit on last year's growth. This is a primocane variety, which means it will fruit on the new growth, which makes life so simple. You never have to worry, because normally with the other variety, what you have to think is, okay, which one am I pruning?
Yeah,
and we'll give you the advice, train it one way, train it the other way, and then you're always pruning one or the other. With this, you don't have to worry at all. You just, after fruiting, prune all the canes back, and then they'll fruit again the next year.
I think it just takes out any complication that there possibly is. And I'm thinking, I don't know whether we're going to agree on this, but I would put all 5 canes in the one grow bag.
Would you?
Yeah, would you just put 3?
I wouldn't. I'd separate them out a little bit.
Would you?
I mean, they'll grow.
I'm just thinking of the first year or 2.
They don't get too wide. I mean, we say sort of 1.5 metres by 50 centimetres, but that's just giving it a little bit of space.
I'm thinking 3 actually. 3 in a grow bag, 2 in another.
I mean, yes. Yeah,
that'd be.
Do that.
I'm tempted to. I haven't got any raspberries at the moment.
I have not got raspberries, and they're really easy as well. And because obviously this is a compact variety and fruits on new growth, I just think it takes all of the thinking out of it.
Yeah, and all you need is
feed them, water them regularly, and do water them regularly. They're going to need watering regularly,
and a nice sunny spot.
But they're easy, and then you'll be picking your own delicious, beautiful raspberries.
Yeah, I love raspberries. And they're only 7.99 out. So if you're thinking, I like the idea of growing raspberries, never done it before, use your free grow bag to grow them in. I mean, £8. What are you thinking, Bex?
thinking I'd quite like them.
Can tell, but yeah.
I mean, in the grow bag, they don't want to be planted too deeply. That's the only other thing to say with raspberries. They don't like to go too deep. So just, you know, shallow planting is what you do with raspberries. But yeah.
Otherwise, you end up, if you plant them too deep, you can end up with lots of suckers and things, can't you?
Yeah. Remove the suckers.
That, I reckon, 3 in there would be perfect.
Yeah, I think you could do that. 3 in one, 2 in another. Yeah.
Oh, look at us thinking about raspberries.
I was thinking about meringue and cream and raspberry. What's that called? What's that dessert
Eat a mess.
Eat a mess.
So you've been talking brain fog.
Pavlova, that's the one I was thinking of.
I didn't think eat a mess.
No, I was thinking pavlova. I was thinking with raspberries and some strawberries and some...
Yeah.
And some kiwi stew, yes, I'll put some kiwi on it. You hate all of them.
I love raspberries, full stop. But remember, these actually fruit on the new growth, so you will get raspberries next autumn. $7.99 for 5 cones. Bex has got a great video on our website all about planting bare roots, but the general thing is give them a good soak when they arrive. They've been in the cold store, wake them up, give them a good soak overnight, get them planted as soon as you can. And I personally, I would definitely plant them in your free gift. I would.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Pick a nice sunny spot. That's
it. Sunny spot. Use our compost, and you're going to get great raspberries. $7.99. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I haven't got any raspberries, so.
All right, let's move on, shall we, to the Callicarpa. Now, this is one that I've actually added into my collection after last year because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And at this time of year...
You had yours on your table, didn't you, last year?
I did for a little while, yes. I've actually planted it in the ground now. I might move it again. But anyway... This is what it looks like at this time of year. Look at all those beautiful berries. I just think it's really, really stunning. And they've got this lovely pearly sheen to them as well. But it's not just... Actually, and I wish I'd taken a picture because I didn't, and I stupidly should have. I will do it next year. But the foliage colour that happened to this just before it dropped its leaves, oh my word, it was the most gorgeous salmon pink colour. It was incredible. And then, of course, you get these berries on the bare stems here, which are... just beautiful. And if you want to add these into your Christmas displays, we were talking last year, weren't we, about you know, if you're doing your own wreaths and things like that, adding that stems of this purple in would look really good.
But I mean, how beautiful is that right now? And I remember last year we showed this kind of, end of November, December, but some of the Callicarpa still held on to their berries into...
ages.
Yeah, would you remember?
Ages.
All through January, even a little bit into February, but it is absolutely beautiful. And I mean, if you should get yours, I mean, this is from the stock right now, covered in berries. Imagine that outside as part of a winter display. Few little lights around it. It looked amazing, wouldn't it?
I do think it's beautiful. It's award-winning, by the way.
Oh,
it does have the AGM from the Royal Horticultural Society. They've also given it that badge that says it's perfect for pollinators. It's fully winter hardy. It's one that can get really nice and big. We are talking 6 feet here, like $1.80 m.
I mean, imagine that, 6 foot covered in berries.
Covered in berries. I just think that's stunning. It's not massively vigorous. It's, a steady growth on here. But to put that in the border, wait for it to get to that size, that's going to be incredible.
I'll tell you what, gardening is so exciting, isn't it? I mean, I met up with an old friend the other day, and I've not seen her for years, and she's really into gardening now. She used to be into clubbing. She was like really hardcore clubber.
Right.
She's called Helen, and I used to go clubbing with her when I was in my late teens, and she was really loved clubbing, loved the party life. And she said to me, she's 60 now, and she said, do you know what? She said, I get just as big a buzz out of my garden as I do clubbing. But I was with her, and she's got a beautiful garden, I have to say. But it gives you an absolute massive buzz, doesn't it?
Love it.
And we're always planning, aren't we? I'm sure you're the same. Bex and I, we stand here, we talk about plants with you, but we're always planning, aren't we? And that is, I know when we first saw that last year, we just thought, God, what a beauty. And it is called, of course, Profusion Beauty Berry. But they almost look like metallic, don't they?
They do. They've got a lovely sort of metallic-y pearly sheen to them. Well, that's the 3 litre, which is on a half-price deal at the moment. Excuse me. So $14.99 or $13.49 if you are in the club. 510525 is the item number for that one. But we've got a different option for you, so you could go for a smaller plant if you would like.
And you actually get 2 of these. for just under £8, £7.98. Exactly the same plant. Now, you're not going to get them covered in berries because very unlikely because of the size of them. So they'll need to mature a bit, need to grow a bit. But if you want to have that journey, grow these on.
I mean, I think plant them now. Chances are you get a few berries next year.
Yeah, I think
you'd start getting some next year. But this is one of those ones where we're saying, go on that journey, nurture it. Be the plant parent and take it to that stage.
And they're fully winter hardy, of course. So you don't have to say, oh well, they go to survive the winter. Fully winter hardy, but you get a pair and they're a fraction of the price, £4 each.
Absolutely.
And it is nice. We do both. We sometimes buy things that are established, sometimes buy plugs and smaller plants, and it's just. It is very rewarding when you do that, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I love taking something from a baby and then growing it up.
And we love to chat to you. It's like, well, I bought this 5 years ago as a little baby, and look at it now. It's good.
It's very satisfying.
All right, so that's the Callicarpa, but the mini one. Mini one, arriving in 2 9cm pots. Right, we've still got loads more to show you, and we have got the most stunning peony for you right now called Barzella.
It's a great name.
It is, and a very unusual peony, this one, because it's a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful one. You get such big, blousy blooms on here. Loads of them as well. It's a hybrid of the sort of traditional perennial and the tougher tree peony as well, which means what you're getting is beauty, colour and robustness all together. And this is what happens with modern breeding, isn't it? Breeders will look at plants and they'll go, right, what is it that people don't like about them? What are the best features about them? And then they mix them to get all of the good stuff and get rid of some of the more annoying things.
So if I was to say what annoys me about traditional peonies slightly, and they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, and I have got several peonies, but I don't like the fact that quite often I have to give them support, particularly some of the bigger, blousier peonies. When their heads get really big,
they get really heavy, don't
they?
they?
Whereas this one, with it being a cross with a tree peony, generally speaking, it will not need that support.
Because it's got the slightly stronger stems going on there. I mean, it's still going to get to probably a good metre in height, so somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in height and spread here. But you are going to get lots and lots of flowers, and the colour is just sunshine yellow, isn't it?
And they do arrive as a bare root. It's a great time to plant your peony bare roots. All the instructions are on there. Just don't plant them too deeply.
Yeah.
You end up with lots of leaves and very few flowers.
Now, they are winter hardy. It comes as a bare root. Would you plant it out now, or would you put it in a pot to grow it on and then plant it out later?
I would probably plant it in a pot, because the trouble is at this time of year you kind of forget unless you planted things.
I think that's the thing. So it is winter hardy. It could go into the ground now. Obviously, as long as the ground's not frozen, completely waterlogged. But I think I would put it in a pot.
I would.
Grow it on, and it's bare root planting season, so do it. Because you can't plant bare roots in the middle of summer. It just doesn't work like that. Bare root planting season is from about October to February. Put it in a pot, and then in springtime probly plant it somewhere once you start seeing more growth coming through.
I did that last year with some bare root peonies, and to me, it just makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
I'm always a bit, because I've got a big garden, things do get lost sometimes.
I'm pretty sure I've dug up a few bare roots that I've planted in my garden accidentally, because you just forget where you put them.
So anyway, the choice is yours, but it is fully winter hardy, and it is that hybrid between a traditional peony and a tree peony. So you get all of that height, you get stronger stems, it's robust, but it is beautiful, it really is. Now, one of our joint favourites.
Oh, I love geraniums.
We do, don't we?
Such a fan of a hardy geranium.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to get hold of the hardy geraniums. I mean, we talk about geranium roseanne all the time because we've both got it in our gardens. But it's not just the fact that it's the geranium roseanne, which is amazing. It's an amazing variety. We just love hardy geraniums because they flower their socks off.
Yeah, we're talking like from May, June.
Oh my!
Mine have only just stopped flying. Yours the same. Only because we've had a few frosts and things.
It's one of the last things in my garden that just kept that, and the which we've got, by the way, the erigeron. We've got some erigeron coming. That and the erigeron. Those are the two things that just kept going longer than everything else.
And our head gardener, Peter McDermott, and he's way more experienced than us two because he's professionally gardened since a child. His latest garden, I mean, it's amazing, and he has just literally done some simple beds of hydrangeas and hardy geraniums. And the geraniums are so low maintenance. That's what we love about them. You know, you don't have to constantly deadhead.
I'm so going to do that in my next house. I'm definitely going to do. I'm stealing that idea. I'm going to do, and I've always thought about doing a whole bed of hydrangeas, but actually underplanting with geraniums, and I'm going to mix in some erigeron in there as well. You've got 3 amazing long flowering plants, really low maintenance, coming back year after year. And this is what geraniums do. They give ground cover. If there's a gap in your border, get this, because there's 5 bare roots in there. Just put one of those bare roots in that gap. You'll stop weeds coming through. You'll fill it with something that flowers for months on end.
They're just such a winner. And price-wise, we sell hardy geraniums in the height of summer, like the geranium Azam. And one of those in a 2-litre pot would probably be £12.99. Yeah. So you're getting 5 here for £7.99. So it works out for a hardy geranium less than £2, about 180 a plant. No, I think it's my maths isn't quite as good today. 160. Yeah. Is that right, Stu?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I've lost him.
Yeah, it says 160 if you're not in the club, or 144 if you are in the club. If I was to make a list, a top 10 list of things to put in my garden, then hardy geraniums are definitely going to feature on that list. And I don't care what variety it is. Obviously, I've got Roseanne, but any hardy geranium, genuinely, that deserves a place in anybody's garden. 580-005 is the item number if you want to go for the hardy geranium collection. 5 bare roots, mixed colours. You do need to get them planted soon, though. You can't just leave them in the bag. So if you don't want to plant them out in the ground right now, which you can, but if you don't want to, stick them in some pots, look after them, and then plant them out in the springtime once you start seeing some growth coming through. We've got another bare root option for you, though, which is the iris. This is the peacock mix. And definitely once you look at the different colours that you've got included in here, you can see why it's called the peacock mix, because the beautiful colours you've got are incredible, aren't they? Now, it's a reliable, hardy perennial, flowering for you sort of late spring, early summer, around May and June time. But these can get really nice and tall. We are talking probably about between 60 and 90 centimetres, so 2 to 3 feet height you get on these. They've got ruffled, blousy blooms in that rainbow of colours. You get, obviously, the foliage, the strappy sort of grass-like foliage at the base there, but these flowers just rise up on quite tall, sturdy stems that just rise up out of that. They will naturalise, they will spread, they make an excellent cut flower because of the strong, sturdy stems that they've got, and they do provide height without taking over the rest of the garden. They are the embodiment of the fleur de lis, which stands for faith, hope and power, and they will tolerate wetter soils as well. So this is definitely something that I think I should plant in my garden.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, Bex, with climate change, you know, quite often our gardens are a lot wetter.
Yeah,
so
indeed,
perfect.
yeah.
That is stunning, those. I really like this table, don't you?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I do like a bare root. Obviously,
I do.
They do take just a little bit longer to get established than buying a potted plant, but sometimes that's worth it for the payoff of the fact that you're paying so much less for them.
Although I was going to say, just back to the geraniums, even though the bare root, when I've planted bare root geraniums, even the first year,
they keep going.
Yeah, they're like,
True.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So those two are brilliant together. $7.99, of course, for the iris, and the geraniums the same. So you're getting 10 plants there.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Under £15 for club members.
That'd be great, actually. I mean, because obviously the iris gets nice and tall, and the geranium is more about ground cover. So you could plant them in a similar location, couldn't you?
Now, if you are new, I know we always get new viewers, and you might be thinking, what's this club that Shaun and Bex keep mentioning?
It's not an exclusive club, honestly. Anybody can join. Anyone can be a member. And
the great thing is, if you want to join today, you can get a discount on your very first order. And we're currently running an offer, normally £20 a year, it's £5 on auto renewal, or £10, which is a 1-year membership. Let me just explain the difference. So basically, if you go for the green option, it's £5 cheaper, but also what happens is at the end of the 12 months, we will send you an email saying we're going to renew your membership. If you want to cancel, you can do, but that price will stay for your lifetime. So you can be a YouGarden Club member for £5 a year for life. It is amazing, because we know what inflation's like, we know how prices go up, but no, we are keeping that for your life, that £5 membership, or the £10, which is a one-off payment. Now, the benefits are huge. You will get 10% off every plant and accessory. Accessories include things like the pots we've got on the show, the compost. You also get £5 off things like outdoor living and gifts, so furniture, garden tools, gifts. And this is brilliant. Once you join today, in about a week's time, through the post, you get your welcome letter, but you'll also get £20 worth of vouchers. And that's like getting £20 worth of cash. You get 4 £5 vouchers, and you can use those against other orders. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's like getting £20 cash back, and also exclusive offers, competitions, and expert advice. And you can actually become a member right now and save on your very, very first order. And I mean, most of our regulars, they are club members. They've saved hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So it's a brilliant club. And we would love you to be, say, one of our 45,000 club members. But we love the club, and it's actually really rewarding when you see all the discounts. So let's just give you an example basket if we can. So, here's a basket right now. So, oh look, we've got those lovely planters. We've got a barley one in there as well. They're the pre-filled hanging baskets, a couple of those. We've got the Crown Imperial, the Fritillaria. Got the Amaryllis. I think we need one more bulb in there because it's a 3 for 2.
Double pinks.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'm with you on that. The double pink tulips. So there we go. And then what will happen? They're free because it's a 3 for 2. However, let's make it all better and put the offer code in. Now, every week on YGTV, we've got a special offer code. Today's is 49.24. And when you add that, you get your free gift. You get that lovely grow bag. But then suddenly you get a free pot. So the Sempervivum, it's a buy one, get one free using the code. Right, with the Cool Wave hanging basket, half price suddenly. So there you go. And the bulb is the tulip bulbs there are now free because it's a 3 for 2 offer. So suddenly the savings are huge. Oh, and you got free delivery again because you spent over £40. But there's a little memo there. Join our club today and save £8.60. Oh, but the club membership is only £5. So actually, by joining the club today, you become a member and you add quids in. So you're suddenly £3.60 better off. So we really like, I mean, we honestly, by ordering on YGTV, and we're so glad that, you know, we are really, really growing on a weekly basis. You can save an absolute fortune, you really can. And Bex and I often say this, and we're just being 100% transparent with you. Because we work for YouGarden, like a lot of you, if you work for a certain company, you get staff discount. So we get a really good staff discount.
It's very generous.
It's very generous.
Thank you for everybody.
Yeah.
YouGarden, by the way.
But quite often, we'll use the YGTV discount code instead of our staff discount. Because we can't use both, but it works out often better value to use your code.
I think I've only used the staff discount code like twice.
Yeah, I've not used it a lot this year.
In over a year of doing this, doing YGTV, I use the YGTV code when I place an order because it's so much better.
And you always get your free gift.
Yeah.
So it is a brilliant, brilliant club to join. So I hope you join today. And say, you quite often when you put your order in, you'll see that you get your club discount and then obviously you get all the YGTV discounts. So it's like a double whammy. So thank you to everyone that is placing an order. Now, if you've got any questions, if there's anything you want to know about, if you just want to say hi, you can, of course, email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. You can chat to us on Facebook, YouTube. Have you been checking the chat, Bex?
I was just thinking I haven't checked the chat for a little while.
That's what I thought.
It's over there. We'll have a look in a minute and see if anybody's in the chat. We'll say hello. I think We're going to talk to you about the bulbs first of all, though, because we put the other 2 bulbs out that we didn't show you earlier. But the deal we've got on the bulbs today is that we've got 7 different varieties, some really exotic and beautiful, not standard boring ones. We've got some really exotic and gorgeous ones, but they're all on a 3 for 2, and it's a mix and match. So you can choose which 3 you want, put them all in your basket, enter the code. One of those bags will be free. It is not too late to plant your bulbs. I've still got, I think, 5 bags of bulbs that I need to get out and get them planted. The ground is still fine. It's not an issue to get them planted, depending on where you are. If you're right north Scotland, maybe not.
I've found in latter years, it's actually better sometimes to plant them a bit later.
Totally. I think I lost a lot of bulbs last year because I planted them a bit too early. It was really wet, and I think I lost quite a few.
Well, we've got some Narcissi for you next. King Alfred.
Love King
And these are a bit more classic, actually.
Was there a King Alfred? There must have been a King Alfred.
Yeah.
I don't know my history very well.
Not in the UK, no.
Apparently.
No. We're probably ready for an Alfred, aren't we?
Probably ready for an Alfred.
Yes. But this is King Alfred, a king of Narcissi. Just a classic, really. I mean, just all solid yellow on these.
This is what I love about this. Okay, so we do some really, weird and wonderful varieties of daffodil, and I love those. But the traditional, the classic, the beautiful, that's just wonderful to have, isn't it?
And again, really big bulbs. I mean, look at the size of those.
Yeah.
They are really solid bulbs, and every one of those will produce the most beautiful, beautiful flowers. So that's another one in the mix and match.
Yeah, I love that one.
But I mean,
let's show the parrot tulip.
Look at Estella.
Tulip Estella Rheinwelt, this one. And it's the colour mix on here, as well as the fact that you've got those sort of feathery petals on there. The red, the cream, there's almost hints of green running through those petals as well. It's a definite beauty.
When I was a child, albeit a few years ago, we never had tulips. I mean, in the last 10 years or so, the breeding that has taken place is phenomenal. And Estella Rheinwelt there is the most beautiful tulip. So I bought quite a few of what I call parrot tulips this year. I love the feathering. I love the complexity of them. I adore all the different shades and tones, greens, reds, crimsons. I mean, that is the most breathtaking tulip, and I would love you to try. I know lots of you today think, which bulbs shall I go for? I always say as a gardener, try something new. Be a little bit adventurous, because that's the exciting thing to me. I love all my classics, but imagine in springtime, if you've never grown this one before, imagine seeing those tulips for the first time, to really see that Estella just burst out. And it is a very complex tulip, that, isn't it?
I love it.
Isn't it amazing?
So pretty. Nice and tall as well, about 50 centimetres in height, that one's going to get to. I would definitely just think about planting it somewhere just a little bit more sheltered, just because of the height it's going to get to, and the fact that it's a bit more blousy than the other, standard tulips that you can get, but beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you leave it in the ground, as long as you let that foliage die back down into the bulb, refeed the bulb, you should get those for several years.
And tulips, I mean, most bulbs, not all, but most like a sunny spot, with tulips, definitely put them in the sun. That's where they want to be. Yeah, they want to be baking away in that sun. So don't forget, if you want to see all of the 3 for 2 bulbs, go to our website. Or you need to find the show page. There we go, we're live now. Or down there, hit YouGarden TV. Hang on, could just stop that. I love that picture, Bex.
That's amazing! That's from last week, isn't it?
That's from last week.
I do love these stills. I love it when you've got... Stu does it on purpose though. He picks these funny ones. They're brilliant.
So I look like I've just swallowed a wasp, and you look like you're about to. But yeah, all of the great products are on there. If you keep scrolling down, then there you go. There's all the bulbs. So it's a mix and match, 3 for the price of 2, and there's loads of really beautiful, unusual exotics in there. But yeah, that's a fabulous selection, isn't it? I think I know it's a difficult choice, but I'm going really exotic. The Fritillaria, Estella,
double pink.
Yeah, I think so.
Those 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just think some real beauties in there.
There's the amaryllis in there as well,
I know.
Of course.
Now, we are with you live until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Bex is going to have a look at the group chat, and we're going to answer any questions. And don't forget, we have got a prize draw today where all you need to do is literally email us at ygtv@yougarden.com, so ygtv@yougarden.com, and the subject, just put Holly, H-O-L-L-Y. You don't have to write anything, just put Holly, and then you'll be entering the prize draw, and one lucky customer is going to win a pair of standard hollies. But we're running the same prize draw on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Facebook rather, Instagram, and TikTok, and it's not one prize, we've actually got 4 prizes.
Yeah, 4 prizes, so 1 for each of the platforms. Of course, we couldn't do it on those social media channels without offering it to our YGTV viewers. So you can actually go and enter the prize draw. It's not the prize draw. You can go and enter the prize draw on all of those 4 different places and just multiply your chances of winning.
Yeah. Increase your chances by 4. Now, also on the show today, we have got a superb mini orchard collection. 3 of the nation's favourite fruits. You've got Bramley apple, I always think like, Braeburn apple rather, the nation's favourite eating apple. We have got Conference pear and Victoria plum. When you think in a supermarket, those are the nation's favourites, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the best eating apple, that lovely combination of like tart and sweet. Conference pear, that's the juiciest, isn't it?
And it's delicious, sweet, really good for eating, really good for poaching.
And then Victoria plum, again, beautiful plum, just eating straight off the tree. But also, jam. I like plum crumbles and things like that. So they are going to arrive as 3 bare roots, and here to see all about this extraordinary mini orchard collection is the head gardener, the one and only Peter McDermott.
Plant a tree and improve the environment is the big message here. But these are fabulous because not only are you planting 3 trees in this case, but they're productive trees. So if you're going to plant a tree, is a great thing to do. Great for the environment, great for the world. Plant a fruit tree, great for your pocket, great for your health, because you're now going to save money. These will produce tens and tens of pounds of fruit in weight every year from the 3rd year onwards.
Wow.
A mature apple Braeburn could produce between 40 and 50 pounds of fruit in weight per season once it's fully mature. A Victoria plum, that picture of the Victoria plum you can see there.
Yeah.
I was actually, I don't think I took the picture, but I was there the day the pictures and the videos were taken. That was just in Cambridge, just north of Cambridge, in a little village called Cottenham. And they were astonishing, but you see the branches that are almost like cascading down there. That's the weight of the fruit doing that to them. And you, again, can pick 30, 40 or even 50 pounds of fruit from a mature Victoria plum. And then Conference pear, which is the 3rd of these. You've got Braeburn apple, you've got Conference pear, then you've got the beautiful, beautiful plum, but you've got all 3 of those included. But the pear is divine. That was a friend's hand, but in my garden. So that is a tree in my garden. God. Massively productive, and they'll live for 40, 50, even 60 years. This is a commercial grade fruit tree that's on a dwarfing rootstock. So you could grow this in a smaller garden. This is going to get to a couple of metres tall. You can prune it really easily. And the rule of thumb with pruning fruit trees is you summer prune for fruit. Who would have thought you summer prune fruit trees? The professionals do. Summer prune for fruit, winter prune for growth. So if you want your tree to stop growing vigorously, and it's a fruit tree, prune it in the summer. If you want it to grow and grow in size and stature, winter pruning is the answer. So it couldn't be easier, but that's the rule of thumb. And this is Braeburn apple. So this will live for the next 50 or so years. Plant it in a sunny position. Plant it somewhere where there's plenty of airflow. The rule of thumb I always say is if you stand like this, go over there. Go on,
like
put
this,
your arm out
yeah,
like that. Okay, so I'm one tree. That's the closest the next tree needs to be. So I always think about 2 metres in a garden setting, and that allows plenty of light, plenty of airflow, plenty of sunshine. And you could plant these in a row, in a sunny position, all 3 of them together, about 6 foot or 2 metres apart. You could live basically in a block of flats.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
You could have an external balcony area, and you can still grow your own apples, pears and plums, because the space you need is this. Yeah. And actually, at this time of year, you can put them right together, because they're dormant at this time of year. There are no leaves. It's only really from about March onwards, when they're coming into leaf and they're blossoming, you just need to give them a little bit more space to get around them and allow the pollinators in. But they are all self-fertile. So all 3 of these varieties will...
Brilliant.
So Braeburn will pollinate itself. Victoria will pollinate itself. conference will pollinate itself. So you don't need to worry about, do I need a second apple? No, you don't. Do you need a second pear? No, you don't. Do you need a second plum? No, you don't. It's all fine. So they're compact, they're professional quality, they're grower quality, they're self-fertile. Great for pots, great for the garden.
And what's the maximum kind of height these going to grow, Peter?
Well, interestingly, if you grow them in pots, that slightly topiarizes them, slightly dwarfs them, if you like, so it will stop the growth. But left unchecked, they would eventually get to 2 metres, maybe 3 metres eventually. But
that's not huge, though, is
not
it?
really.
No.
But the way to stop that is just take out the leader. So this is the leader. This is known as the leader, this central stem, because what plants know up from down. They know what gravity is. Strange to think that, but they really do. So they have this thing called apical dominance. And apical dominance says there will always be one branch in any tree that is the leader. It's pointing to the sun, pointing to the sky, and opposing gravity. If you just get a pair of secateurs and at 45 degrees just take out the central leader, and then one of these other branches will eventually take over, and in 2 years do it again. And what happens when you take the leader out is you get all of this lovely feathering, all of these lovely side branches, and it's the side branches that give you the biggest crops of fruit.
I picked up the wrong one.
I've got the Braeburn. I'll be honest, the trees look quite similar.
They do look quite similar.
But that mini orchard collection, it is superb. And, you know, most of us would love to grow our own fruit and veg, wouldn't we? But space is always at a premium. Most people have got smaller gardens nowadays. So to get a mini orchard that you can literally grow, I mean, you know, your free bag today, your grow bag. I've actually grown these fruit trees in grow bags for many, many years.
Yeah.
And they did great. I'll be honest.
We say we can grow them in our heavy-duty pots, and the heavy-duty pots are 30 litre. The grow bags are actually 45 litre, so they are bigger.
So if you're a bit clever today with your shopping, do you know what I've got a plan, okay?
Man with a plan.
Man with a plan. So you are going to need quite a lot of compost for these, because that bag holds 45. So you're going to need, for that mini orchard, 2 lots of compost. So I'm thinking, buy your fruit trees as a separate order. You get 1 of those. Then buy 2 lots of compost as separate orders. Then you get 2 more bags. So you'll have 3 bags. You'll have enough compost to fill all 3 bags, and you have some left over. You'll have a bag left over, and you'll have 3 fruit trees. That's honestly, no,
that's gardener's maths.
That is good, but that's how you do it. If you're thinking, I want the fruit trees, basically buy the fruit trees in 1 order, you get your free bag, then buy 1 lot of compost, you get your free bag, then buy another lot of compost, you get another free bag. So that will give you everything you need, and you'll have about 50 litres of compost left over. Are you impressed, Bex?
I'm very impressed. I was also impressed with Stu, because we said man with a plan, and he said man with a plant.
Seriously,
that properly made me chuckle.
But that really would be a great way of getting a mini orchard. It really would, and having kilos and kilos of Braeburn apples, conference players, Victoria plum for many, many decades.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that collection, honestly.
Now you might want a really pretty blossom tree. I mean, they produce blossom and they're really pretty, but this is a stunner.
Oh, so this is your traditional cherry blossom flowering tree. So this is that one that you see that is big, that is beautiful, that gets absolutely covered in those cherry blossoms. And I adore cherry blossom season. It's one of my favourite times of the year. There's one and I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'm sure it must be the Kansan variety, just around the corner from my house. And oh my word, at that time of year, it's the most beautiful thing. I mean, I just stand there staring at it because I love it so much.
Yeah. I mean,
so pretty.
I'd love to go to Japan, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So
it's on the bucket list. It's got to happen before I die.
So I think if you're buying this today as a berry, and that's the best way to buy the Cherry Prunus Kansan, you really need to think about where you're going to plant this, because you want to really enjoy that blossom in springtime. You really want to be able to see it in full show. But you don't want that blossom to just blow away. So I always think a sunny but sheltered spot.
If you can, absolutely, definitely.
Although having said that, when the blossom does blow off, it also looks...
It looks like a snowstorm, doesn't it? But
does.
pretty blossom. This is an award winner. It's got the Award of Garden Merit from the RHS, so we know that it's a proven performer. It's completely winter hardy, so you don't need to worry about that at all. It's a nice big tree too. You know, it's really nicely established, and this can get to, what, 3 metres in height, couple of metres spread. It will get so covered in that blossom.
When you think 3 metres,
it's not that big.
That's a really nice height, isn't it?
It is grafted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about 1 metre. Right.
70.
Maybe I shrunk back.
Well, I'm about 165, so.
Yeah, so imagine sort of like almost twice Bex. That's I mean, again, think about this, the front of the garden, centre stage in the back garden. But it is all about that blossom. Obviously, you don't get cherries, you're not going to get edible cherries, but that blossom is going to be just breathtaking.
I love this planted. So my mum and dad used to have one of these outside the living room window. And it was just beautiful because obviously springtime it gets covered in that, and it looks, you're just looking out the living room window and you can see it, and then you get all the lovely leaves on there during this, you know, the summertime. But then it's deciduous, so it drops its leaves in the winter. But that's perfect when it's planted right outside a window because then because it's deciduous, it's allowing the light to come into the house, but shadowing the house during those hot summer days as well.
And in the winter time, around Christmas time, if you wanted to cover that with little twinkly lights,
perfect. Love that.
Amazing, wouldn't it?
It.
And it is only $14.99. And when you buy cherry prunus, the Kansan, when you buy it as an established cherry tree, it's very expensive. Very easy to plant it. So when it arrives home, give it a good drink overnight. I always think when I'm planting, cherry trees, I always dig a nice big planting hole, and I always mix in some. If you've got some mycorrhizal, or if you haven't, then use some of our compost. But give it a really good start.
And it's really tolerant of various different soil types.
Yeah,
so chalky soil or clay soil or good soil in between. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, and fully winter hardy. So it's very suitable for the UK. That one.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just excited. I'm thinking about, Bex was right. As a child, we had lots of blossom trees in the little close that I lived in, and it was beautiful. And that when you walk around in springtime and the blossoms coming out, it fills you with joy. Doesn't it?
Definitely.
So that is a must-have today at 500-027. Now, do you like toffee apples?
I love a toffee apple.
Yeah, I
love the smell of a toffee apple. I loved the smell of your porridge this morning because it had that kind of sweet toffee, golden syrupy smell to it. It was gorgeous.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did smell really nice.
I did offer you some.
No, I'm being good.
Yeah. Bex has had a bit of a binging week.
I had a really binging week.
It's that time of year, though, isn't it?
Oh, who cares, right? We've got to put on our extra winter pounds.
I don't care.
Keeps us warm in the winter.
I'm not being funny. December is not the time to think about your diet, is it?
I'll think about it in January.
The good thing is this is calorie-free. So you've got all the the benefits of toffee apples, but without the calories. And we jest, but when the leaves start to turn and fall in autumn time, you actually, if you ever walked through, say, an area where you've got a big toffee apple tree, when the leaves on the ground, you smell toffee apples, don't you?
You do. I mean, when the leaves start to sort of just be crushed a little bit by walking through them, it releases the most beautiful toffee apple smell. So you've got these, I mean, it's very, very pretty anyway. You sort of have heart-shaped, bronze-tinted leaves when they're young. It obviously matures into a full-size tree, and then you get a really beautiful display in autumn time before it drops its leaves, and then you get that smell that goes with it as well. And
this is a big tree, so it's a lot bigger than the Kansan. We are talking, I mean, I've seen these 10, 15 metres.
Oh my word, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll take a few years to
get
there,
decades, don't worry,
But yeah, it's a proper tree size.
Yeah.
It has got the AGM, by the way, from the Royal Horticultural Society, so proven performer, nice and easy. All soil types it's going to be pretty happy in, just needs a well-drained soil. And that's kind of it, really.
Yeah.
Sun or you're probably going to get best colour if you plant it in sun. But you could go part shade.
I do remember this featuring on one of the very famous garden programme.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do remember them walking through and just smelling that toffee.
Love it.
It really is incredible. I mean, and it's not like, you know, sometimes people say, oh, it smells like so-and-so. You're like, I can't smell that. It really does smell of toffee apples, doesn't it? It's like...
Even for Shaun's nose.
Yeah, I don't have a very good sense of smell, I have smelt the leaves as they're falling, and it's like the real thing. It's wonderful, isn't it?
I love the way that, look, you're getting this very sort of upright growth going on here as well. That's kind of
nice shaped
the way
tree.
that does it.
Right, so that's only $14.99. What are you thinking, Bex?
I think we should go back to the favourites, for sure.
Yeah, I do too.
That's a really nice selection we got over there. Let's have a little look.
We've got some lovely plants on the favourites table, and a mixture of kind of classics, but then a few really weird and wonderful ones as well. Now, the Pieris collection is only $14.97, and I often think Pieris are a little bit overlooked in UK gardens, and yet they offer so much evergreen, lovely foliage, delightful flowers in springtime.
The foliage colour you get from these is
really,
it's so good, and this is why we believe that it is completely underrated, really.
I think so.
That more people should have this in their gardens, because look at the foliage colour we're talking about, that fresh colour that comes through. You've got, I mean, these are beautiful shades, aren't they? You've got a brighter red, a softer pink, and then a brighter pink going on in there as well. There's 3 different varieties that you will get. There's Forest Flame, Flaming Silver, and Mountain Fire. They're fully hardy, but they give months and months of colour. The young foliage comes through, those dazzling shades of pink. It matures to a gorgeous glossy green, and then, if that weren't enough, you get these branching clusters of white flowers that look very similar to Lily of the Valley. And it can get nice and big. It's relatively slow growing. It doesn't take, you know, it doesn't take over, but it can get to anywhere between 2.5 and 4 metres. Over a period of probably 10 to 15 years.
And we do say, I mean, I've got mine with my rhododendrons and azaleas, so they do prefer an acid soil, but I don't think it's totally essential with these, because I have grown them in just regular soil before. That's my opinion. So
the advice is they like ericaceous.
Yeah, on our website it will say, you know, acid loving. And if you have got a bit of ericaceous compost, just mix it in as you plant them. But they're lovely, and so when they flower, the flowers are delightful. These little like white bells.
They're so much prettier than because I've never grown it myself. So hands up, I don't know it from my own personal experience, but I've seen pictures and I've seen it growing. And when you see those flowers, actually they are really quite outstanding. And
they will grow very nice in pots. So if you haven't got acid soil, then just grow them in pots with your ericaceous compost. They'll be very, very happy there. But the fact that they are evergreen, I think the foliage is really, it's really attractive. And then, as Bex was saying, when you get the new growth, because you've got the 3 different varieties, a combination of different pinks and reds, it's magical. I really like them. I love these.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, honestly. And as soon as we started bringing them here, earlier on in the year, I did start spotting them in various different places. Isn't it funny how that happens?
Yeah.
I did start spotting them when I was out on my dog walks and things. I see them in other people's gardens, and they are really quite beautiful. Really
special, and they are 51126 at just $14.97. Now we have got a really wonderful Sempervivum collection.
Hang on, we need to hold on. What is it, Stu?
What are you going to show, Stu?
Is it exciting? Oh, he's trying to do something. Oh, you're trying to show that picture.
Of the Pieris from last year.
Somebody, yes, that.
Oh, my word.
What was her name? June? June, if you're watching, thank you so much for sending that picture.
I remember that. That's one of the largest I've seen.
Look at it. And those flowers really are quite amazing, aren't they? They're quite significant. Now, June actually emailed us and said that she thinks that is about 30 years old.
Because they are slow growing, that would,
Wow.
But, I mean, how amazing. It actually looks quite exotic there,
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's one of the nicest I've ever seen.
I love it. Absolutely adore it.
Yeah, so thank you, June. That really kind of captured our hearts and imaginations when you sent it on earlier in the year.
It's a half-price deal we've got here, guys. Okay, so each one of those works out at £5, just under, $4.99 each, if you're not in the club. But obviously it's way less than that if you're in the club, because you get that extra 10% discount.
So we hope we go for that. We were rather excited about the Pieris collection today.
Yeah, definitely.
511-126. Right. We're also...
I love this one.
Very excited about this. Now, I've got a couple of these already, and I said to Bex, you need a little collection.
I do. Do you know what? They're They're quite beautiful,
They
aren't
are,
they?
yeah.
I actually really like the 3 that you're getting here because they are very different in colour, aren't they? You know, you're getting that icy white one. What's it called? I've completely forgotten the name.
It's on the screen.
White.
There you go.
Arctic white and the coral red and the gold nugget, and they just work beautifully together because you've got lovely contrast going on. The Arctic white has really kind of captivated me. That's that one there. Love those rosettes and that white colour that you get.
It almost looks slightly cobwebby, doesn't it?
It does, definitely. And then this one is the coral red. Yeah,
I've got that one.
That turns that blood red colour in the summertime. And then down here we've got the gold nugget, which has got the reds and the pinks and the greens and the yellows included in there. But what I love about the Sempervivums is that they actually change colour throughout the seasons. So obviously you get more intense colour at different points depending on, you know, light and more about temperature, isn't it, than anything else. And what I love about these is that they are really low growing, low maintenance, drought tolerant, and the fact that once you've got one, you've kind of always got them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they will just constantly produce babies for you.
Well, Sempervivum actually means everlasting.
It does.
Yeah. It's because all of these constantly produce the little babies and little chicks, and all you need to do is literally, we've done this a few times, as it produces new little babies, the little rosettes, you can literally just pull them off, and they've already got roots on them, put them in some of our premium compost, and you've got new plants. So they are one of the easiest to propagate.
So easy.
As I mentioned earlier, they will tolerate extreme temperatures, even though they're a type of succulent. So, you know, really cold winters, really hot summers.
And you get those flowers on there as well, which is amazing. I mean, they shouldn't still be here, to be perfectly honest. The flowers,
they're
normally
in
summertime.
But,
you know, we've got a few. But they're pretty when they've got them.
But honestly, they are pretty much impossible to kill. Just do not... They're like really good drainage. So just make sure if you're putting them in pots, just put lots of gravel in there. Give them really good drainage. And you'll have those for the rest of your life. And they're constantly producing little babies. You keep pulling them off, don't you?
I'm going to make a baby. Make a baby. Should we make a baby, Shaun?
Oh! Might be a bit old for that next.
I'm definitely old for that. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
But these will produce babies. There you go.
There's me little baby. Oh, I dropped the baby. Bad mum. Here it is. Dropped the baby on its head. Was that the one I just pulled off, or was that a different one? Was it? There we go.
They are honestly...
It's got roots attached. I can then put that into the pot.
And at this price, everybody, because you're saving £20, if you haven't got a Sempervivum collection, just go for these things. Because we've picked 3 really nice ones there that really do contrast. The gold nugget with those sort of like oranges and yellows, and then the red, the coral red, and that really does go bright red in summer. I've got that one. On the Arctic white, which looks a little bit sort of like frosty cobwebby. But I think they're amazing little things, and the fact that they're constantly reproducing and giving you free plants is incredible, and you get the benefit of the flowers. We should say normally, not always, but once it's flowered, that rosette sometimes dies.
True.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's always producing babies.
Get another one, put it in its place.
So you'll never be without those. Yeah, you need those, Bex. You need those in your life.
I do need those in my life. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You need those in your life as well.
Yes, you do.
Right. Sometimes, I love gardening. Of course I do. We love gardening. You love gardening. But sometimes you don't have enough time, do you? And maybe you didn't have enough time to do your wind hanging baskets this year.
Yeah.
We have got a deal of the week right now, and we've done all of the hard work for you. Half price, berries and cream. Everything done in the basket. These do come with the clips as well, so we've taken them off, but you can have them as pots, or they do come with the hangers. For club members, $8.99.
It's brilliant, and if you haven't got anywhere to hang them, don't worry about it. You can just keep them as we've got them here in pots. Put them on the table outside. You know, that table that you're not sitting at, you're not using because it's too cold to sit outside and eat out there. Use that as a display for them. They will flower for months and months on end. They'll go a little bit quiet in the summertime. You can trim them right back, put them somewhere sort of a bit shady and a bit cool. Keep a little bit of water on them, but then bring them back out again next year, and they'll do it all again for you. But that hard work has been done, and we don't think that you would be able to buy the pot, buy the compost and the individual plants for that price.
I don't think so. And I know when I first discovered Pansy Cool Wave and I started to experiment, I did some mixed baskets, some with Cool Wave, some with regular pansies. The Cool Wave outperformed the other pansies.
Every time.
Yeah. They won't stop flying. They trail as well. And when I say trail, they sort of like cascade, so they're great at just clambering over the edges of pots and baskets. 10 months of colour. And the flowers themselves are a little bit smaller than a traditional pansy, but bigger than a viola. And the colour palette with berries and cream is my favourite.
I love
tasteful,
berries
isn't it?
and
It's
cream.
tasteful, isn't it?
Yeah, love that combination. The purple, the cream, the burgundy in there as well. It's definitely, we always talk about it being a bit high-end, don't we? A bit designer. It's very, very nice.
Now, I tell you what we need to do. We need to see Elaine's Appletini.
Yes, we do. I'm grabbing the iPad. Let's have a little look in the chat first.
By the way, to chat with us, all you need to do is email ygtv@yougarden.com. But also, don't forget, we have got a prize draw today, and just by emailing yougardentv@yougarden.com, so ygtv@yougarden.com. Basically, when it says subject, just put holly, HOLLY, and then you're in the prize draw to win 2 standard hollies with pots as well. But tell your friends about the prize draw. We're also doing another prize draw on Facebook, TikTok, and on Instagram as well. So we've got 4 pairs of holly trees to give away. Right, who's in the chat then, Bex?
So Circa did confirm that it was a water fountain that she was talking about earlier. So yes, thank you very much for that. Elaine is saying all her bulbs are coming up. She has sent a picture. I've seen that, the angel wing bulbs. They're starting to sprout and come up, which is just crazy. But we know a few of those that's happening. I don't know what she was talking about here. I don't need to buy them. They grow naturally at the back of my garden. Did she say it when we were in the Callicarpa? Interesting.
Really?
I know, brilliant. She says, I love my garden. I'm always planning it. It's my life, my garden for 40 years.
We get that.
We totally understand that.
Yeah,
Ruth
totally.
is in the chat. She's saying hello to everyone. I do want to say I hope you get well soon, basically. She says her health is playing up a bit extra today.
Ruth.
So sorry for that, Ruth. Hope we're giving you a bit of light relief.
Yeah, I'm going to say, just hopefully you're sitting, relaxing and resting and just enjoying the show.
Yeah, definitely. Ruth says, Shaun, I've got the large powdered clay pots. Oh no, we did that, didn't we? Will they do for bare root fruit trees? Did we answer that already? No, we didn't. I've got the large powdered clay pots, the helix. Oh, and they're the big ones.
Were they the 40 centimetre ones?
Yeah, I think there was the 40 centimetres. If it's the big 40 centimetre,
yes.
Smaller than that, I would say maybe initially, but you might need to pot them on again, you know.
I would say for bare roots you want 30 litres. I mean, so in terms of capacity.
Absolutely. Hi, Neil.
Morning, Neil. No, afternoon, Neil now.
He'll probably be watching back later on. Neil says he's in the press room, the engine room, trying to run the presses and finish the work off. Oh, bless him.
Oh, that all sounds quite exciting.
Dipping in and out as much as he can. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
and
Neil.
Owen, good morning, lovely. How are you? Nice to have you here. She says, sorry, I'm very late. Had a bit of a flood. So been cleaning up, all sorted now. Oh, no.
Oh, bless you.
Hope it's not too bad. Rutha says, I got a replacement for my roses. Thanks, everyone, for the advice.
Great.
Not a problem. That's it in the chat.
Great.
Let's have a look in the pictures, though, shall we? Because, all right, first one is the tulips that are popping up.
Yeah.
Now, this is showing you that the... There's a bit of this going on where we're getting a little bit of growth going on.
Right, do you know,
I'm hoping it's going to be fine. They're going to die back down again once it gets cold and then they're going to come back up. I am an optimist and that's what I'm sticking with. Shaun's not.
Well, I don't like the fact that a couple are exposed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So the ones where you can actually see the bulb, they need to be deeper.
Getting buried quick.
Yeah, I wonder if you just planted them slightly shallow, that's all. So what I would do, any of the bulbs that are showing, I would just push them in a bit. And I'll be honest, I'd be ever so tempted to just put a bit more compost on the top.
Put a bit of layer over the top.
I would, yeah.
But we are seeing it a bit, aren't we? With some bulbs that are just starting to poke up through the ground. But yeah, maybe an extra layer of compost over the top might do the trick. Who knows?
There's a bit of room though that you could actually decide. Any bulbs that say you can see the actual bulb, just push them in, and then I'd put a little extra layer of compost.
Right,
just to be extra safe.
What I want to see is Elaine's Appletini, because that's what we're moving on to next, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the Appletini tree. So Elaine got this, did she say for her daughter?
I always think Appletini, I think one of the reasons I love it, it sounds like cocktail to me.
Yeah. Ah, here we go. So she's got it in a heavy-duty beauty pot. She's put the bark mulch around it there, look.
Perfect.
Obviously it's bare at the moment because that's what it does at this time of year. It goes bare and drops its leaves. But then, you can see all the budding points, can't you, along the stems there.
So, Elaine, keep us informed with the journey of that, because we are very much hoping that that will be producing apples next year.
Yeah, and they're really sweet. They're really crisp. They're lovely apples, honestly. I really enjoyed them. Can't wait
is that a Pieris behind it, by the way?
It does look a bit like a Pieris, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're right. I think it does look a bit like a Pieris. Nice spot there.
Yeah, it looks quite a nice size
Elaine, let us know. Is that a Pieris?
Yeah, it looks like it is, doesn't it?
It does look like the foliage of a Pieris. Interesting.
Yes.
All right, thank you for sending that picture. Obviously, we're getting lots of emails in here, and the title is Holly because everybody is joining into our free prize draw. But if you want to send us any pictures of your garden, that's fine. We will happily have it. Or apparently Tony sent a picture. I'll have a look.
Great. We are a fantastic garden community here at YouGarden, and we just love to share. We really do. But if you do want the mini apple tree, the Appletini, that is only $9.99 today. Right, what's it? Lovely blossom, gorgeous fruits.
Tony's saying I have 2 asters that have grown together to form a clump about 2 feet square. Do I cut them down for the winter or just leave them? I also took advantage of your cordyline offer and bought 3 more to go with Charlie Boy. And I have 2 more on the way to put at the front of our bungalow. They were so good.
They were really
right,
good.
So Tony, you've got some asters that are formed together in a clump. Look at that.
Look
I love your garden.
This looks.
Hang on, let me see if the other picture. Sorry, Stu. I'm going to go back.
Loads of heli balls.
Sorry, that for me is the picture.
Yeah.
Look at that garden.
You know, that really works. Tony's got loads of our pots all grouped together. I love the fact that he's got different types of pots. Really works, no digging. It can move those around easily. It can change things over. The cordylines are looking amazing. They'll look even better with your new ones.
Great garden, honestly.
Where's his asters though?
I don't know. I don't think he sent us pictures of the asters. But basically, they formed into clumps. And should he cut them down? I would probably give them. I mean, it's up to you, to be honest. If you want to neaten them up a little bit, then by all means you can do. I've just left my asters, to be perfectly honest. I'm not touching them. They look a bit shabby, but I don't care. I used to tidy up the garden. I used to put it to bed. I used to say I was putting it to bed in winter, and I used to go around and trim everything, and I'd do it by the end of sort of October and into November. I'd make sure it was all done by then. But I've kind of relaxed a little bit. I've given up on doing that. I don't mind it looking a bit messy because it gives plants a little bit of extra winter protection. It provides a little home, a little haven for bugs and wildlife and stuff.
And it can look really attractive.
Yeah,
but I'd be tempted now into December. I'd leave them as well, and I'd wait till spring.
You can, if you want to tidy them up, you can give them a little prune back, of course. But yeah, we very much recommend just leave it alone.
Yeah. And then if you are going to divide things again, I think it's a great time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Right, any more questions, then do come through on ygtv@yougarden.com. And say if you want to be part of the chat, we'd love to hear from you. Questions, pictures. But
Good morning, Andrew, by the way. Hello to you as well.
Is that our wonderful Andrew?
Our Andrew, yeah.
Yeah.
With his amazing lighted up, that's not a word, his lit up garden.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if he's got extra lights for Christmas.
Maybe.
Could he fit any more lights in there?
I don't think he could fit any more lights in his garden.
Yes, you could, Andrew. We know you could. Right, just want to also remind everybody, we have got a wonderful winter clematis collection. Now, I only discovered winter clematis, I don't know, about 6-7 years ago through YouGarden. I've got a couple in my pub, and they are lovely because we love our clematis, but the trouble is most clematis, lots of varieties. During the winter, you've just got lots of straggly twigs, and then you wait till February, you cut them back. But these are an evergreen selection that flower from sort of March to May, depending on the variety. And it is lovely to see climbers flying in the winter.
Yeah, I love it.
It's actually quite rare. There's not that many in the UK.
It makes them very stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when
it does.
You see that, it definitely draws your eye. That one there,
Freckles.
the evergreen freckles, that one is an awesome one because it looks so beautiful, but also because that one's the longest flowering of all of them. So that one, once it gets going, it'll probably start in around November and it'll keep going right the way through to May. So we are talking potentially up to 6 months worth of flowers from that.
Wow.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, maybe even up to 7 months. And that is amazing, isn't it? But then you've also got the other two. You've got the early sensation and the Wisley cream. And as Shaun said, December to February, March to May, those two will flower. So you are getting a lot of flowering from this. But I think the most important thing is the evergreen part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, really is. And so it's lovely that these will be flowering just as your bulbs are coming up as well. So it makes you imagine having a climbing clematis and then all your daffodils around it and your tulips and things like that.
Important to point this one out to you, just so you're not disappointed when you get them home. Okay, so these two have got a decent amount of growth on. This one is, it just hasn't at the moment. But let me take it out the pot so that you can see, please. I don't want you to think we're sending you a dud. That one is incredibly rooty. So please don't worry about the fact that you can't see much above ground. There is plenty going on below ground. And of course, you are getting a half-price deal. So all three of those for under £15, or way less, of course, if you are in the club.
And we should say as well, they are winter hardy, so they do come with our lifetime guarantee. And if you are new to YouGarden, all of our plants that are winter hardy, you might think, oh, well, which ones are winter hardy? If you go on our website, the ones that are winter hardy have the little sort of like snowflake symbol. And that just means that if they die at any point in your life, we will replace them for free. All you'd pay is the postage.
Indeed.
So it's really good. I mean, even if I'm not being funny, 5-10 years later, if you lost them, we would replace them for free. All you'd pay is the postage. But loads of you in recent weeks have been ordering our ornamental bark strulch. And it's an amazing product. Just have a look at this and work out where you could use it in your garden. Hello, well this is our YouGarden ornamental spruce bark mulch. It looks gorgeous actually, it's a really, really nice quality, but there are so many uses for this. It's great as a weed suppressant. So if you've got areas in your garden, beds and borders that get lots of weeds, a nice thick layer of this will just suppress those weeds. Also great as a top dressing around pots and containers. That's what I'm going to use it for here. If you've got children's play areas, it makes a nice soft cushion around those play areas, or maybe areas in your garden that you need to walk over. Having this there just makes it a lot safer and a lot easier. So I'm going to use it here. The reason being, I've got the euonymus here. And to be honest, whenever I've tried to plant things around them, they've never done that well. This is just full of roots. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do, because I just don't think it looks very nice. It looks a little bit ugly. I'm just going to do a nice thick layer of this and just see. Oh, yeah, this is going to really work. I'll tell you what, because it's autumn as well, I think that's going to look fun. Also, it is a great duvet. If you've got something that's a little bit tender, something like the anigalis that I had growing here in the summer, it's a tender perennial, so if it needs that extra protection from cold weather, then this would be absolutely superb. That looks so good, doesn't it? Really nice. Do you know what I'm amazed about? So I haven't done as thick a layer as you normally would for some other jobs, but it's amazing how far this has actually gone. And some of our regular YouGarden customers have bought several bags of this. It can really just make the whole garden look so much more neater and tidier. So I've just stood back and had a look at this from a distance. And what really struck me as well is that all the green foliage now really stands out. You've got the contrast of the green with the bark mulch, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I really should have done this many, many years ago.
So pretty.
It looks so much better.
Well done.
It took minutes as well.
Yeah. That's the great thing about that mulch, really.
Ben and Amanda were filming at the same time, and it wasn't. That clip of him wasn't like, oh, let's spend 2 hours editing it. We just literally, that whole job, the filming and doing the actual job of putting on the mulch itself took 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a big job,
no, it's not.
Is it, at all?
Just quickly, by the way, if you are multi-ordering the bags of the bark mulch, I do it in separate orders, because with every separate order, because you've got the postage included, you'll get your free grow bag worth $4.99. And these are great for this is your free gift today. So great for just moving things around, shopping, and brilliant for, of course, growing things in, like the orchard. The Appletini could grow in there, couldn't it?
Yeah, honestly, you could pretty much grow anything in there.
Yeah.
I've previously grown potatoes in there, and they worked perfectly. Oh, there's little Elliot. Lovely.
That's a few years ago, isn't it?
Hey?
That's a few years ago, isn't it?
It was his Elliot, so that's Stu's Elliot.
Oh, of course, I'm looking now. I'm going to say, yeah.
Because he's got the lovely little curls.
Look at him, sorry, I can see him now.
No, I've got an Elliot too, but that's lovely little.
So when was that, Stu? Was that last year?
Couple of years?
2 years ago,
yeah. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing to grow things in. I'm going to be using those bags to, it's going to be temporary homes for plants. So when we do finally move house, I'm going to take a few of the plants with me that are in the borders. I'm going to dig them up. They're going to go in here, temporary home, until I can then find a home in the new house. Yeah. You can use them for log stores, you know, moving your logs from outdoors to indoors. The handles are ridiculously strong.
God, Bex, try and break one.
I mean, honestly, they're double stitched.
Don't do this at home. Look at that. Yeah, seriously. Thanks, Bex. Look at my, that's how. Look, I was really pulling that. But they are free with every single order today. I use them for all sorts, but I do use them for shopping. I really do, and recycling, things like that. So that is free with every order. So if you are buying, I know Elaine has bought several bags of the mulch previously, you'd get one free with every single order. Now we've also got a lovely plant for your next, known as Lily of the Valley. And if you've got shady areas that are quite difficult, this is an absolute must. Yes, because it loves shady areas.
Absolutely perfect for shade. You know, we often talk about shade, don't we, with the ferns and things like that, and putting those into those spots because you'll get lovely foliage growth. But it can be difficult to get flowers to grow in those shady spots. Not when you've got Lily of the Valley. This is the perfect way to do it. And these are going to flower in springtime, about April and May. Those lovely little sort of bonnet-shaped flowers that you get from them that have the most beautiful scent as well, don't they?
Yeah, they're very fragrant.
Gorgeous fragrance.
And they only grow, I mean, they're really quite, you know, short, 20 centimetres or so. They look great growing under trees, and, you know, they give you, I think they give you that lovely kind of woodland look and feel. And they do spread and naturalise.
They do indeed.
Once you get them going.
Absolutely, and the best way to grow them is by these pips, basically. It really does give a bit of a head start, giving you, you know, a more likelihood of getting flowers in those first years. Low maintenance, cottage garden staple. All you've got to do is, it's a bit like a bare root, isn't it, basically? Treat it like you would a bare root. Give those pips, as we call them, a little soak before you plant them out, and then, you know, a good sort of 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and then you can go ahead and you can plant them in the ground. They spread by about 30 centimetres, so just bear that in mind when you're planting them out. You're going to get, is it 10 pips in a bag?
Yeah, I mean, that's really good. It's a pound a pip. I know it's a funny name, but the pip is like it's when the roots spread under the ground and then the pips come from the roots, so the new plants come from the roots. But they are a lovely plant for those difficult shady areas, and as Bex was saying, the fragrance is divine, so you can pick these and bring them indoors as well. But I remember, I mean, Lily of the Valley is a real classic going back decades. My nan always used to have Lily of the Valley. Yeah, really beautiful, lovely, isn't it? I haven't got them. I don't know why I haven't got them. Now, what I think what I would do with these is a bit like the others we were talking about earlier. I probably wouldn't put them in the ground, although you could. They don't particularly like the cold and the wet. I mean, they're winter hardy once they get going, so I'd probably put them in pots and start them off in pots and then plant them out later. It's entirely up to you what you do with them, and they are winter hardy once they get going, but just I'd maybe think about potting them and then planting them later. They are one of those plants, once you do get them growing in your garden, you know, they keep going, don't they? Yeah. They spread. And you end up with like a lovely carpet of those white little bells. They're really pretty. Now, I know Bex has got this blueberry collection. I have. If you've had your eye on it, we have got it today at an amazing price. And when you look at this, £3.33 per blueberry is incredible. Actually, less than £3 for club members. And we've put this collection together. It's called the Long Season Collection because we've got an early, a mid, and a late. Yeah, so it extends that cropping season basically. So that, you know, they'll start between sort of June, July and August really is when you'll be picking these blueberries. If you just had one plant, you'd maybe be picking blueberries for 3 weeks. Whereas with this, you're probably going to get up to 12 weeks worth of picking blueberries from it. So I got them this size earlier on this year. I can't remember exactly when, but it was like springtime. It's quite early, I remember, yeah. Yeah, it was maybe springtime. And yours have grown loads, haven't they? Oh, my word, you should see the size that these have got to. So I planted them into the heavy-duty pots, one in each of the heavy-duty pots. And they are like this. Now, I didn't get... So I shot this just a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted you to see this. I mean, that's amazing. Bear in mind, that's the Appletini just on the left there as well. But they've really grown, haven't they? They've really shot up, haven't they? And you put one in each heavy-duty pot? One in each heavy-duty pot. I was amazed with how quickly they grew. And I will be honest, over previous weeks, we have done a different deal where they've come with pots as well. But The pots would have only been
used
suitable
those.
for a year or so.
Yeah, I would never have used those for those.
So
You
I
wanna go
love
into
this.
big
I
pots.
think I really love this deal even more.
Well, I shot that little video because I wanted to show you the foliage colour, because we often talk about it with blueberries and how they give the most amazing sort of autumn display of colour. But I wanted to prove it to you, because look at the colours you're getting from each of those. I know we're growing these for the fruits, but they are attractive, you know, and you get that beauty throughout the seasons.
And the blossom's really pretty, isn't it?
Blossom is so pretty, and of course every single one of those little white flowers can then turn into a blueberry. I got a couple of blueberries this year. I'm not going to lie, obviously first year you're not going to get loads of blueberries, but once they get going, these are very prolific. So next year I really should be getting loads and loads of blueberries from those.
And you'll probably know at home, blueberries are one of the most nutritious fruits. They're really high in antioxidants. They're great for our vitamins, and they are actually low in calorie.
They are low in calorie.
Yes. So,
well, my husband loves blueberries. He's a big fan of blueberries. He makes loads of strawberries. Smoothies? Smoothie was the word I was looking for.
You can make a smoothie with strawberries.
He makes loads of smoothies, which is why I got them. So I've got these 3 varieties. I also got the pink lemonade one that we sold earlier on in the year as well. So I've got 4 varieties of blueberries. Can't wait till next year. We're going to have blueberries for days.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good.
And there is nothing better than growing your own, walking out. I love to walk out in my pyjamas on a morning
and have a buffet.
Well, I do. I mean, I wander around my coffee, and I will. Like, if I've got blueberries growing, tomatoes, I will. Strawberries, I will just pick some straight off.
Me too. I love it.
It's magical. That's
Love
what
that.
nature's all about, isn't it? And that's a very easy collection. Now, one thing we forgot to mention, though, blueberries do need acid soil.
Yeah, ericaceous compost, which is why it's great to grow them in pots, because it makes life so much easier. Of course, if you've got ericaceous soil in your garden already, brilliant. If you haven't, just get our heavy-duty pots, get yourself some ericaceous compost and plant them in those.
And that just means they're acid-loving, basically. All plants are different, but a few really need acid soil, and that is definitely one of them. It's not a choice. Don't think, I'll just use a regular compost and see where it goes. It really needs it. It really does. And we have got ericaceous compost on our website.
Yeah, I mean, look, it won't kill them if you plant them in, neutral soil. They will be fine. They just won't give you the fruits.
No.
What's the point then?
No.
You want the fruits, don't you?
But I love the fact yours have grown so much in a year.
Yeah, lots of foliage. So I'm not trimming them. I'm not.
No.
And you shouldn't in the first couple of years do nothing to them. I'm leaving them alone. But they are low maintenance and they require minimal pruning after that.
But doesn't that collection make sense? We could have given you 3 of the same. But actually, you've got 3 different ones to extend that cropping season.
Yeah.
So fresh blueberries for 3 months of the year. I think it's an amazing collection, that one.
Good.
And it's only £9.97 today. Right, we have also got one of my favourites.
Yeah.
The Geranium. And I had an area. I've got quite a big garden, and this friend that I bumped into during the week was like, I've seen pictures of your garden on Facebook and Instagram, and so she was very kind. But the thing is, like most people, I normally just show the good bits, and there are some. It's a big garden. There are some bad bits.
Yeah.
And I had an area that was just like, I should put more of the bad bits on there, but I did have an area that was basically just full of rocks and rubble left over from when the garden was a building site, and I'd not got round to doing anything with it. So do you know what? I thought, I'm just going to plant Geranium, and now it's just a carpet.
Yeah.
Of daisies, and it's only the last couple of weeks where they've stopped flying because we had a few frosts.
Well, this is the beautiful thing. It's a carpet of colour for about 9 or 10 months of the year, and that's the amazing thing.
And they have great ground cover. They love poor soil, sunny position. They are so robust. They're pretty much impossible to kill. But this is what I did in my garden. Well, this is where I've put Geranium in my garden, because this whole board, I'll be honest, it's very rubbly. Haven't really worked out quite what to do with it, but I wanted ground cover. And there's only about 3 plants here. They've been here a couple of years, and they just flower all summer long for 6-7 months of the year. And what I've done, I've actually extended. So now, because they did so well then, this is often a tip. If you see a plant doing well, then you might want to repeat it somewhere nearby or get a similar variety. So I've actually just planted a few more plants along here. And the great thing is they will just flower and flower all summer long. Each plant can get up to about 1 metre by metre. The flowers change colour, so sometimes they're white, sometimes they're dark pink, light pink. And at the end of the year, all I'll do is literally trim them back, and we'll do it all again next year and the year after and the year after. It's known as Mexican flea bane. That's the popular name for it. And it's one of those plants that will tolerate a very poor soil, likes lots of sun and needs very little love and attention. It's just a brilliant ground cover plant that will flower all summer long and produce thousands of flowers. And they're like little daisies, which I love. I mean, I love the fact that that's so easy. The flowers say May right the way through to November.
Yeah.
Was that 7 or 8 months? 7 months, isn't it?
I think it goes a bit longer than that.
And all you do, I mean, they die down a bit in the winter. You can like, I'm going to use the term hack. You can just chuck them right back, and they just bounce back next year.
Yeah.
But it was one of our joint favourites. That one.
Yeah,
isn't it?
love it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's so easy. And again, sorry to bore all the regulars, but if you're getting the hardy geraniums, get yourself some of the erigeron to go with it and plant the erigeron right next to where you plant the geranium. You'll be amazed, honestly, that the combination of those two things just growing together is perfect.
Yeah, and the price today, normally £10 each, £7.49. Amazing value. And I always say with the flowers, the individual flowers are not spectacular. They're daisies. Daisy type, I should say. But the fact that you get so many and they're different shades of whites and pinks is quite magical. The overall effect is really magical. Right, we're going to move on to burning love now. Sounded a bit Barry White.
I was just about to call you Barry.
Yeah.
Then. All right, Barry.
Burning love. Lakothi, which, jokes apart, this is rather splendid.
I
We've
like
only
it.
had this on a few shows, haven't we?
Yeah, we haven't done it. We haven't done it loads. It's kind of well, look, it's a stunning evergreen shrub. First of all, I really like the shape of the leaves. On this.
do, yeah.
Really like, because they're quite long, they're elongated, and the colours that you get on that foliage is incredible as well. It's a bit similar to Nandina in the fact that you get this lovely colour changing thing happening with the leaves on there. But this one does require the ericaceous compost, so do bear that one in mind. It is ridiculously hardy. This can cope with -20 temperatures without any kind of issues whatsoever. And you will also get, in springtime, you'll get bell-like white flowers on here as well. So, you know, an added bit of interest going on. And that will flower between sort of April and June time. But a lovely evergreen shrub for your garden.
And I'm thinking you could potentially, if you got one of the big pots today, the Somervilles, you could grow this with the Pieris.
Oh,
because
yeah.
in bottle of acid soil.
Yeah,
Good.
why not?
I mean, I'll be honest, the Pieris eventually would get too big to go with this, but it's a beautiful, beautiful plant that has interest all year round, and it does remind us both of the Nandina, but the shape of the leaves I think is even more beautiful.
I
do.
really like the shape of the leaves. That kind of talks to me, that one.
And it is fully winter hardy, because I was thinking,
Totally. -20 this will cope with.
yeah.
So
again,
pretty much every area of the UK.
It's not one that you often see, is it?
Nope. Nope. $11.99 today as well. $10.79 if you're in the club. That's a really nicely established one as well, because it is in the 2-litre pot. So, you know, we're not talking about a baby here at all. That's a really well-established plant.
And not too big, so what, 70, 75 centimetres?
Yeah, about 75.
Yeah.
So somewhere between 2 and 3 feet is the height and spread this will get to.
So I'm planning, I've got an ericaceous border, I'm thinking that'd look nice there.
There's a space where that'll fit, is there?
Oh, there's a lot of space.
Always
yeah.
a space. We can always find a space, can't we?
If there's not a space, just buy another pot.
Yeah.
And we have got some great pots on the show today as well. Don't forget, to get all of the offers, you've got to use that offer code YGTV4924. Your free gift is that fabulous grow bag. And if you spend over £40, what happens, Bex?
Free postage.
Yeah.
We will deliver it. We'll cover the cost of that postage for you.
Which is really good. If your order is under £40, we do cap the postage at $6.99. Now, the other week, our lovely Elaine, one of our regulars, she bought...
Was this the one she bought? I couldn't remember.
I think it was this one.
It was.
I'm sure it was.
Was it Elaine?
Yeah.
I think it was.
And I think she bought 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a Matterhorn.
Beautiful. I love this one. I love the panicle hydrangeas. I mean, I love the mop head ones as well. But panicles of the flower, they're really densely packed. They're quite, and I'm going to use the word imposing, but I mean it in a positive sense. I know that could be taken as a negative, but very imposing flowers.
They're really striking.
They really are. And the colours that you get on here, the creamy colours, but also the limey greens as well are stunning.
In certain lights, you may even get a slight sort of like pinky hue as well.
I'm just thinking, our lovely friend, Jan, didn't she have, for her wedding flowers, wasn't it all these?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I just had a vision of
it.
it.
Yeah, it was. It was.
No, and she did not scrimp, did she, on the flower displays?
There were
thousands.
My
words, there was so, and they looked amazing.
Yeah, well, she gave. Did you not get any to take out?
I had a very small baby at the time.
Yeah,
so
you might
I
have
think
left a bit early as well. But I mean, as a cut flower, they are incredible. This particular variety always flowers on its new growth, so don't worry about pruning and stuff. I mean, if it gets too big, actually, you can cut it right back, and you'll still get flowers that year. But the established, I would say, this will be fully grown within a few years, maybe 3 years or so.
They do grow quite quick, don't they?
And they love. Sort of a moist environment. I always think part shade, but they are very, very easy to grow. And the flower heads are absolutely huge. And this particular variety, the Maton, every single stem could be covered with that lovely cone shape flower head. And they look absolutely spectacular. And honestly, what you're seeing right now is what the magical Maton creates. So you get this fabulous plant covered in creamy white flowers that sometimes look a little bit limey green, sometimes even ever so slightly pink, and not too big. It's going to grow less than probably about 1 metre, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't get massive. So, you know, you could put this into a border quite happily, but I think this would work if you've got some large pots.
Yes.
You could happily keep this in a large pot. Obviously, you've got to keep on top of the watering a bit more. If you're keeping it, if any hydrangea, you know, if you're keeping it in a pot, you do need to make sure you're keeping on top of the watering in the summertime, because they love moisture.
Yeah, and they absolutely hate drying out. Yeah. They'll let you know because I had one in a pot, not got around to planting it in the border, and literally one morning I woke up and it just looked the most shriveled thing. I did revive it, but it did take it back a few months, I would say.
It's fine. If you're out there in your garden every day, it's not a problem at all. You can keep these in a pot, and because this is a more compact variety, it is one that would lend itself to that.
And let's just be perfectly honest. If this was summer and it was covered in flowers, we could easily charge you that £30 RIP, more probably.
Totally, yeah.
But buying it now, because it doesn't look its best, it's sleeping, it's winter. But buy it now, get it with a £20 saving. I mean, Elaine bought, I think it was 5 she went for. You're going to save a fortune, but you will get flowers. I'd say you will get some flowers next year, definitely. But year 2, year 3, you're going to get more and more. But it's a great saving to get it today of £20. Do you know what? If I had the area ready for that, I'd be...
You'd do it now.
Although, to be honest, I could buy it and just keep it in the pot for the winter, couldn't I?
Get yourself some bags. Get yourself out grow bags. Honestly, this is why you need to shop, first of all, with YGTV, and you know that because you're watching already, but also shopping out of season.
Yeah.
It's that's where you get the best bargains. It's the same with anything you buy. A friend of mine always buys her wrapping paper, her Christmas wrapping paper, on the 27th of December.
Yeah,
you know, she'll literally go to the shop as soon as Christmas is over because she knows she's going to get the best deal. And it's exactly the same with gardening. We won't be doing $9.99 on this come springtime once all the fresh new growth comes through. We'll still have amazing prices, don't get me wrong, but we're getting even better prices right now.
So do what Elaine did. I mean, if you're thinking, because it's very on trend right now to do a whole border of hydrangeas. It's a big look in the gardening magazines. Our head gardener's done exactly that. So if you want a multi-order, go for loads of those, then they're only £9.99 each. Right, let's remind you of some of the wonderful things we've had so far on YGTV today. Oh, yeah, we saw this. This is the cherry kanza. Now, this is the classic cherry blossom tree, the cherry prunus kanza. And this one, it is all about the blossom. Doesn't produce cherries. I'm sure a lot of you will know that, but no, this is all about that springtime blossom. And what is so lovely about the Kanzan, it does produce all of that blossom before the leaves. And then just as the blossom starts to mature, the leaves start to appear. And then the winter, of course, it loses its leaves, so our cherry trees can look lovely covered in lights in the winter time as well. Grows to about 3 metres by 2 metres. Nice sunny position, well-drained soil would be ideal, but imagine having that in your garden and seeing that blossom every single year. What a joy that is going to be. It's 500 027. Now, what else have we got for you? Oh, these are brilliant. These are our deal of the week. So for 1 week only, would you like one of our pre-planted hanging baskets in the best pansy? These are Pansy Cool Wave, which are prolific flowers. They flower 10 months of the year. They gently cascade. And what I love about them is the fact that they produce hundreds and hundreds of flowers without taking a breath. The only time they kind of go a bit dormant is in the height of summer, so like July, August. At that time of the year, they become exhausted. So what you need to do, if you want to keep them, just chop them right back, put them in a shady corner, and then in the autumn time, start feeding them again, and they will come back even better the following years as well. But an amazing deal, normally £20, they are reduced to £9.99 as our deal of the week. And they come in the purple planters with the hangers, so you can either use them as hanging basket or pots as well. But that is amazing for £9.99. It's really good value. Now we've got our toffee apple tree, called the toffee apple tree, because guess what? No, it doesn't produce toffee apples, but as the leaves fall in the autumn and hit the ground and you walk through them, honestly, the smell is of toffee apples. It is incredible. And that is at 510707. It will grow into a massive tree, so you do need space for that one. It can grow metres and metres in terms of height. So yeah, it's a big, big tree, so do find the right position, but it will give you the most joyous autumn. It really will. 510707. Now, we saw with our head gardener earlier, we saw the mini orchard collection, and this is an absolute winner because you've got 3 named varieties. The favourite apple tree in the UK, the favourite eating apple is the Braben, of course. Crisp, sweet, but tart at the same time. Then you have got the Conference pear. Delicious, sweet, juicy, great for eating, great for cooking as well. These all arrive as bare roots, by the way, and they're mini orchards. This is the Victoria plum, again, the nation's favourite plum. And what that means is these never grow too big. So they're on mini rootstocks. They're only going to grow to a few metres, but it does mean you can even grow these in your free grow bags today. You know, there's grow bags that are free with every single order. These will be happening there for probably their life, actually, certainly many, many years. And they're 300,004, saving £35 today. And loads of you have been buying this. It's our ornamental spruce bark mulch. So many different uses. It tidies things up. It suppresses weeds. It's great for children's play areas. It allows you to walk over the borders without getting lots of mud on your shoes. It provides plants with a winter duvet. So if you've got certain tender perennials, half-hardy perennials, it will give them that extra bit of protection they need during the winter months. 100,061. Now, one of the most breathtaking trees in the winter has got to be the Callicarpa profusion beauty berry. This is amazing, actually. So it loses its leaves, and the leaves are beautiful as they drop, but then what's left are these incredible, almost like metallic berries in a purple. So in the winter months, they look spectacular. But prior to the berries being formed, of course, got the blossom, because it's got all the lovely flowers as well and the foliage. But it is a real beauty, and it is something quite magical. When you see those, say, berries close up, they almost look like they have been polished. So it is a beauty and certainly deserves its name. It's the Callicarpa profusion berry, beauty berry rather, 510525. Right, I've got these on my list today. So these are our Raspberry Autumn Bliss. And these actually always fruit on the new growth. So very easy. I mean, at the end of the season, you can just chop them right back. You get 5 of the canes. You can plant these right now. Just don't plant them too deeply, as we mentioned. They really don't like that. And they do like to be in a nice sunny position, in a well-drained soil, but I mean, they love being in our heavy-duty pots and our grow bags in our premium compost. 5 of those are just £7.99. I'm not being funny, but £7.99 would probably get you 2 small punnets of raspberries. You will be getting kilos and kilos of raspberries for many, many years to come. 330008. But all of our plants, pretty much all of our plants, with the exception of the acid-loving ones, we've only got a couple of those, like the blueberries, the Leucothi,
Pieris.
Yeah, I'm like that with Pieris. I have to grow them in
Maybe a bit.
Yeah, but ideally they would like an avocation compost. Everything else is going to love this. And what Bex and I can honestly say is over the many years that we've both worked for YouGarden, this has always been the most popular product.
Yeah.
Highest rated. It always gets incredible reviews. It really does. And most importantly, it always delivers fantastic results. And that is so important. When you actually spend money on plants, you want them to have the best start in life. And the whole, I look after the pub garden in our village. Everything is planted in this compost, but whatever you're doing, whether you're growing on plug plants, planting bulbs, repotting house plants, growing seeds, whatever you're doing, this is the compost for. I'll just give you the details if I can. If you want the Autumn Bliss, by the way, just $7.19 for club members. But our compost, you get 100 litres for $24.98, $22.48 for club members. And I think it's fair to say that the results it gives you are just outstanding. And there are so many composts out there. I mean, we'll talk about peat versus peat-free in a few months' time, but there are so many composts out there that I think have given very disappointing results.
Yeah, they do. And unfortunately, you kind of know it as soon as you open the bag as well. There's been multiple times where I've opened a bag of compost that I've been and bought because I've run out of this.
Yeah.
And I go and buy, you know, a cheaper rubbish. You open the bag and you know, you can tell the smell, the feel, the texture.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be worse. This has a really loose, sort of open structure and texture to it. And the reason that that's important is, you know, roots need space. They need space to be able to spread and to grow. They need oxygen. So if the soil is too compacted, like my clay soil, for example, which has got loads of nutrients in it, but if the roots can't reach for them, they've got no chance. So that's why this open, airy, light texture is so very important.
And one of the main reasons you got that is that 50% composted wood fibre. And the texture is so even as well. You never suddenly find big chunks and lumps and bits of twig in there. It's got a lovely even texture, making it so accessible for all of those nutrients. But that is only part of the story, because you've got also different types of peat in here. Now, some of them are renewable, sphagnum moss peat, for example. But you've also got things like the dark and light peats. And I'm not going to get political, but although we'd all ideally love to be peat-free, and don't get us wrong, we have reduced the quantity of peat in here, I don't think we're quite there yet with a lot of the compost out there. I did an experiment this year, and I did use a peat-free for my tomatoes, and I'll be honest, it just didn't hold water. And when I put liquid feeds in there as well, it seemed to go straight through. And the tomatoes that I grew in the peat-free were nowhere near as delicious and juicy as the one that I grew in this compost. But we have reduced the quantity of the peat, obviously to meet environmental needs. But that's only half the story. Yeah,
so we've got a pH buffer in here, which means that it's, again, we won't get too technical, but you've got an alkaline end of the scale, you've got an acid end of the scale, and you've got neutral in the middle. So this sits just left of neutral, basically, which means that the 98%, let's say, the majority of the plants that you put in your garden, or even your house plants, they will live the best life in here. They will live the happiest life in here, okay? Green balls.
Yes.
Sean's found the green balls. Now that means that your plants are going to get fed, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you don't have to look very far for these green balls. They are all the way through the compost itself. And yeah, they will feed your plants for 5 to 6 months. So yes, you will still have to feed certain plants, but it's that protection. I see it like it's an insurance. So you know, as your plants are growing and developing, as the seeds are, you know, beginning to form their first leaves and then forming lovely strong plants, they have got all of that nutrition and support on the way. And wetting agents.
Wetting agents.
Yes, I like this one.
So this makes the water sticky. In its simplest terms, when you're watering your hanging baskets or your pots and they've got really dried out, which can happen in winter very quickly and easily, and you know the water normally it'll run off the edge.
That's so annoying.
And you get soaked, or it just runs off the edge and wastes your water. This actually sucks the water in, so it makes the water go into the compost. The wood fibre will then help to hold on to that water. So it's all of these ingredients working in conjunction with each other.
I know that is a tiny thing, but I know from because I look, as I mentioned, the pub garden, and there are lots of hanging baskets. In some of them, there can be 20 hanging baskets.
Yeah.
And like dozens of pots. It's so annoying when occasionally I've used a different compost in some of those baskets and pots. It is really annoying when you water, particularly a hanging basket, and that water goes nowhere near the compost. It's so frustrating.
It's a waste, isn't it, first of all?
It's a total waste, but also it's a waste of time as well.
Yeah,
It takes so much longer.
Definitely.
And as Bex was saying, although things don't dry out quite as much in the winter, on a windy day, on a blistery windy day, things can get dry very quickly, can't they?
Definitely.
So it has got so many great advantages. And just the history of this, by the way, we've used it on the nursery for years, and it was never available to the public. And then one day we just thought, hang on, if we're getting all of these fantastic results, why not share it with the public? So, yeah, I suppose as a working nursery, selling millions of plants, we just want you to have the best journey with those plants. And there's no good as providing great healthy plants if you then put them in a really poor compost. So that's why it's now available to everybody. And I'm just going to talk about the price, because we don't claim to be the cheapest, we do claim to be the best. But 100 litres, £24.98. Most of you are club members. And remember, the club is £5 a year. And that saves you £2.50 on every order. Then you get your free gift. And do you know what?
Where is it?
Your free gift, I promise you, it's something you'll use loads. You'll love these. I've got loads of things growing in them, but I use them for shopping. And that is...
Picks up his wine with this.
I'll tell you what, if you're doing your booze one for Christmas,
definitely.
But also, I use it for heavy things like cat litter, cat food, tins, recycling. It's brilliant for recycling. But they are so well made, aren't they, Bex?
Yeah, really good. And do you know what? This Stu was saying earlier, like when you finish with your Christmas decorations, you can put your Christmas decorations in here for them to go up into the attic.
Yeah, and that's a great idea. Do you know, I've just thought, Bex, I don't know about you, right? So, how many times do you buy plastic carrier bags that are bags for life and they break? Now, do you ever get them replaced?
My husband does. He's a proper stickler.
And he should do.
No, he absolutely should. But most of us don't, do we?
No, I end up putting it in the recycling.
Yeah.
You should do. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's like, oh, the bag's broken. You just
put it in the soft plastics recycling.
And how many times? I must admit, I've hardly ever seen people go back to the supermarket and get bags replaced. You should do, because they promise the bags for life. But the point I'm making is a lot of those plastic bags do break.
Yes.
I've never broken one of those.
No, just double stitched. The handles are ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
They're so good.
They are
it's
brilliant.
Free today.
And if you get your compost, that's worth a £5. Brings down the price to about £17.50. So it's brilliant. Right, Bex, so you on the chat?
We're in the chat. Elaine, bless you. You're always so very vocal in the chat, and that's a good thing,
it's
by
great,
the way. Thank you so
Elaine.
much. We
It's
really
great.
appreciate it. So she's saying forest flame and azalea.
Yeah.
What's that in relation to? Anyway, she sent a pic. She sent some pics. She's got lily of the valley.
That was in that
smell
picture
gorgeous.
in the background. That's what it was. I thought it was a Pieris.
She says, I have the blueberries collection. She sent a picture of a blueberries collection. And yes, it was the Matterhorn that she got.
I thought it was.
So we also have a question from Leslie. Leslie says, oh, because we do houseplants, so she's bought some houseplants from us. So she says, just got my indoor plant, Christmas cactus, fly trap,
the tricolour,
string
nice.
of hearts. Would you put them in water before planting them? Many thanks, Leslie. I don't think I would.
What, should repotting them?
I'm assuming you're planning on repotting. You don't really need to repot any of those. So you've got Christmas cactus, fly trap, and string of hearts. Venus flytrap. Okay, so Venus flytrap wants to sit in water. I wouldn't repot that, it really doesn't need it. And that always wants to sit in water. String of hearts and your cactus. Cactus, definitely no.
No, because that'll be flowering now, so you don't want to disturb it.
And string of hearts doesn't need to be repotted. So no, I wouldn't, basically, is my answer to you. I would just take those pots and put those into your pot covers and just water them as they need watering.
Yeah, and then if you do decide to repot them, wait till spring now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be a bit dumb. But well done for getting the tricolour Christmas cactus.
There was loads of people that wanted that and they couldn't
I
get
know,
hold
it's
of
a real.
it.
We've seen it in the nursery. It's really beautiful.
So they had to reorder more stock, and all of that went instantly as well. And then they couldn't get any more. So they know for next year to get more of those, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, just quickly. We've got some amazing pots for you. I mean, seriously good. And what we love about these pots, and I'll start with the Sempervivum if that's okay. So these have got drill holes, so they've been made so they've got the pre-drilled areas there, but you've got the option, so you could use this as an indoor pot for houseplants as well. You know, if you've got a really big houseplant like a cheese plant, a monstera, a rubber plant, or a ficus benjamino, they'd be brilliant. But if you want them for outside, all you need to do is get your drill, and there's two safe spaces already done for you that you just need to drill through. That's a really easy job. But look at the size of these. I mean, they are wonderful. These are statement pots.
They're
for your
big.
garden. They're big and beautiful, aren't they?
They're very big, and I want to point out, you know, standards. So let's go with the holly one.
Yeah,
so we've got, oh, it's come out the pot. Oh my word. Okay, so this is our giveaway. So if you want to email, you can go into a draw to win a pair of these. But when we are talking about standards, and we do so many different standards, loads of different ones, I'm really a big fan of these deeper pots because I've done it myself. I've got the rose standards, I've got the lilac, I've got the holly, I've got a few loads of them. And I've made the mistake of planting them into slightly shallower pots, which is great. They look beautiful, but unfortunately when it gets a bit windy, they easily get blown over, and that's quite frustrating. When you've got a deeper pot, there is less chance of that happening.
And also, that will be a pot for life with that holly tree.
Yes.
And what is so lovely with this, I love standards because you can underplant them, and I'm thinking all the great bulbs we've got on the show, put loads of bulbs in there.
Yeah.
Lasagna plant, do different layers of bulbs. Winter bedding, I mean, we had the hellebores the other week as well, the Christmas rose, under that holly. Come on, that's look amazing,
It's
going
to look gorgeous,
Yeah.
honestly. The cordyline offer that we had, you know that lime passion that we had recently?
Yeah.
If you've got yourself a couple of those and put those in there, and then that'll grow into that tree shape and underplant there as well.
And do you remember we had the mini orchard with Peter earlier? Now, we always say with our mini orchards, we put them in the heavy-duty pots.
Because they've got great drainage.
But obviously, you'd have to drill some drainage in here, and I'd probably put some grit and gravel in the bottom as well.
Yes.
But actually, if you want an attractive mini orchard,
Yeah, you could grow those in there, couldn't you?
and that just then you've just got something that looks very, very, say, appetising. So there's so many. I love those. I'm definitely buying those.
Yeah, big fan of those.
I think they look really tasteful, don't you?
I do agree.
Yeah.
They look like stone, don't they?
And they're neutral, so any type of garden. So I love those. You've got your own these, haven't you?
I really quite like these. So
Yeah.
these could be used as indoor, but I haven't got anything big enough really for those for indoor. But I have got a few indoor plants that I would be using these ones for. You've got the option if you haven't got your indoor plants, you're not into them. Yeah, you can use these as outdoors. Again, you just need to drill yourself some holes in the base there. But I love that stone effect that you've got on there. Again, it's that neutral colourway as well, so it fits with everything you've got going on. But yeah, I quite like the idea of these for house plants, basically.
Yeah, and they are big. They're 14 inches in diameter. It's a buy one get one free. You always need to use the offer code. Don't forget YGTV4924, and then you also get your free gift. That's a wonderful grow bag as well. But again, these are indoor or outdoor. If you're going to put them outdoor, you definitely need to drill through those pre-made holes there, because most plants do not like to be waterlogged. But I like those as well, Bex. They're lovely.
Like, if you need the big one, I get it, but I actually really like these ones.
Right, we have got some bare root bargains for you next. And these really are, I mean, we both love bare roots because it's a great way of getting great value. And these have been the top sellers, iris and the bare root geraniums as well. Two of the favourites here.
They are, and it's tricky. I'm always going to go geranium as my absolute favourite, just because it's such a hard worker.
Totally agree.
You know, and really long flowering season, but that doesn't mean
I'm
not a fan of these. I do love these. The iris, they can get, I mean, iris are very sort of flamboyant flowers, aren't they? The iris always remind me of Alice in Wonderland. It was one of my favourite movies as a kid, you know, that when she's walking through the flowers and they're all talking. So it has that kind of memory to me, but they're just flamboyant. The rainbow of colour you get from these are incredible. They're beautifully tall. You know, these can get between 60 and 90 centimetres in height, so they're perfect for adding height into your border, but without sort of, you know, taking over the rest of the border.
I always think that they've got such personalities, haven't they?
Personality,
you know what I mean?
That's the word, Shaun.
Yeah.
You're right, yes.
Do you look at that? That's like a crowd of people, isn't it? All colourful and beautiful.
Yeah. And they'll naturalise as well. This is a great thing. So once you've planted them, you know, leave them in the ground, they will actually multiply for you as well.
And this particular variety, they don't mind a moist position, do they?
Yeah, they actually really do quite like a moist spot. So edges of ponds, they're going to work great. This would probably be a really good one for me to get for my clay soil garden, because obviously it stays moist a lot, which is why I struggle a little bit with what I plant in my garden.
And then, right, this is an absolute must today.
You have to.
You've got no option with this one.
You have to.
Well, you have, but We will be selling in the height of spring and summer potted geraniums, hardy geraniums, normally about $12.99 each. I'd say is the average price.
Probably, yeah.
Get them as a bare root. You're going to get 5, $7.99. And these will flower next year. Geraniums are one of the quickest bare roots, I'd say, to establish. Peonies take a little while. These don't. So, what I would do, I'd put them in pots now. Start them off in pots. This is what they look like.
They look so weird. They look so odd. I mean, look, you can see where the shoot is going to come from. Just bury that. I would put it probably with the shoot just poking out the top of the ground, basically. But then you just don't worry too much about how you're putting this in the ground. Just get it in the ground. Or if you don't want to put it in the ground right now, you could, because it's winter hardy, not a problem. But if you're worried about losing it or digging it up or forgetting where it is, then put it in a pot, grow it on a little bit, and then plant it out once you get a bit more growth in the springtime.
I mean, honestly, at less than £2 each, I think I worked out $1.60 each for these.
Yeah, $1.44 I think it was if you're in the club.
I mean, amazing value. And hardy geraniums, if you don't grow them, they just flower and flower all summer long. They're the least demanding plants. They don't need lots of fuss. They're not temperamental. It's not like, oh, you've not watered me, you've not fed me, you've not deadheaded me, so I'm going to just look miserable. No, they just keep going and going. And I can honestly say, out of all the plants in my garden, the same with Bex's garden, the hardest working plant that you will ever find. And we said they're great for ground cover because they sort of like filling gaps. They go up and out, so they sort of like sprawl. I don't want to use the word sprawl. That's your word. Cascade.
He told me off for using
Meander.
the word sprawl. Meander. That's what
Yes. But they are fantastic.
I love them.
Yeah. Honestly, you really thank us for those, because I know we're both really enthusiastic about them, but they are one of the best plants you'll ever find. Right,
we need to take you over to the mini olive. If you had tried to order this a little bit earlier on and it was coming up with a price inconsistency, then it should be fixed now. So, apparently it's even better now. $12.99.
Yeah, that was it.
Put it in my basket. How much is it? Oh my word. Yes, please. That's the club members price that you're getting there. So this one is a great one. We've been doing this a lot on TikTok recently, haven't we, Shaun? We've brought it to you here in the potting shed, but TikTok have been absolutely loving this one. So I do recommend it. I love having olives in my garden. And this is a really affordable way of you being able to have an olive tree in your garden. Obviously, it's going to take many years to get to, big heights, but it's a lovely one to take on that journey. A wonderful gift, in actual fact. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for somebody, then this would be a great one.
It really would. And we do with certain plants, not all, but with certain plants, we do have a gift wrapping service as well.
We do.
Yeah, not all
you just
plants.
need to go onto the website and have a little look to see which ones we've got those on.
Right, don't forget, before we run out of time, we have got a prize draw today. So we'd love you to tell your friends and family. All you need to do is email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. And when you send us an email, all you need to do is where it says subject, just put Holly, HOLLY. That will automatically enter you. And one lucky customer of YGTV will win a pair of standard hollies. But we're also running the same competition on our other platforms, aren't we?
We are indeed. 3 more chances to win on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok as well. So you can enter in all 4 of those places, increase your chance of winning. In actual fact, if you're super lucky, you could win on YGTV and you could win on one of the other platforms as well.
Because we're actually giving away 4 prizes, so it's not just one spread over the platforms.
I'm going to let my friends know.
We would never be that mean, no. We are out of time. You've been lovely as ever. Don't forget, you can order after the show. Your free gift is that lovely grow bag. You'll get free postage when you spend over £40. But what do you need to do, Bex?
You need to enter the code. Always enter the code. YGTV4924 is this week's code.
So we're back Sunday.
We're back this afternoon.
Oh yeah, we've got TikTok. If you've got download TikTok, I'll see you this afternoon at 2 o'clock. But for myself, I'm Shaun, you're Bex.
I'm Bex. Stu's in the control room.
Yeah, it's easy to confuse us. We'll see you on Sunday. Take care.
Bye.